money and a lot of interest. There are no bad ideas, except maybe that one. I don't know, dude. Actually, I mean, you did see it in USA Today, so there is that. I actually have a conference call as a member of the board of directors at the Del Mar racetrack on Saturday. I'll bring that up. In fact, no, I won't. One of those billionaires will steal it from us. I've got a new manager. Maybe I'll bring it up with him. No, I won't. I want him to like me and work for me. I appreciate you, Dave. I don't know that that's the reinvention. But you know what, though? At least you had an idea. I'll give you that. At least you had an idea. It's different. The problem with that is, like, I could bring that up, and somebody on the board might say, dude, you are the worst board member in the history of the track. Except that's already been said about me by the guy who brought me to the board, Craig Dato. I said, Dato, help me out with something. This is when he was still on the board. I said, help me out with something. Where is the meeting room? He's like, are you kidding? You are the worst board member in the history of the Del Mar Racetrack Board, DMTC. I'm like, thanks, Dato. Where the hell is the meeting? He's like, you're the worst board member ever. I'm like, yeah, I know. Tell me something I don't know. Where is the meeting? Heavy day, man. Maybe we lighten it up tomorrow. But that's how it is sometimes. For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as access to product experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call or click Grainger.com or stop on by. See you tomorrow, Rob.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's...
Familia is your go-to spot for the best Italian dishes around, including pizzas, pastas, salads, and homemade desserts.
That's Familia.
Enjoy half-off wine night on Wednesdays, $3 drafts on Thursdays, or get a pizza of the week for just $12.
That's Familia.
Place your order online or call 689-6330, and Familia will have your order ready in their drive-thru window for pickup.
That's Familia.
Clip, really?
Oh, sorry.
Familia on Fire Tower Road in Winterville near Pitt Community College.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations available. Visit us at beautybarmedispa.com. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Go Pirates!
The Pirate Radio football kickoff party is back Thursday, August 31st at the State Theater in downtown Greenville with the chairman of the board.
Got me dangling on a string.
Tickets are on sale right now for only $10. Go to pr927fm.com to purchase your advance tickets.
Give me just a little more time, and I'll surely grow.
This year's party will honor and celebrate the life of the legendary voice of the Pirates, Jeff Charles, with 100% of all ticket sales donated to the new Jeff Charles Scholarship at East Carolina University.
Buzzer! Game over! You can paint this one purple!
Carolina girl, best in the world.
All Are you ready for some football? Get your tickets now at pr927fm.com, and we'll see you Thursday, August 31st at the Pirate Radio Football Kickoff Party presented by Carolina Eagle Distributing.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Greetings, friends of Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and a multitude of advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,500 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. We are currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. If you want to be part of a thriving school system that focuses on educating students, growing our employees, and promoting positive mental and physical health initiatives, we encourage you to become a part of our Pitt County Schools family to help ensure success for the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead.
5th Street Hardware and Tap Room is serving up the best lunch in town with a different special every day. Come sit on the patio and enjoy wonderful weather with lunch specials for only $9. 5th Street Hardware and Tap Room is open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. Thirsty? Stop in for a cold beer with over 40 taps to choose from. 5th Street Hardware and Tap Room, next to the State Theater in downtown Greenville. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
How's everybody doing?
At the Burlington... I have no idea what the just happened.
East Carolina girls are the best in the world.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
Clip. Hey, man, good to see you, brother.
Superstitious beers. Superstitious beers. How about those friggin' pirates? It's me, Nancy Garcia.
Go Pirate Radio.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Welcome into Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. You can find us on 1250, 930, online, pr927fm.com. And watch the show on Facebook Live and on YouTube. We are packed for the next 3 hours. Got a ton of guests to get to, a lot of different topics to hit, and we want to hear from you as well. So you can hit us up on Facebook Live, YouTube, or Twitter and be a part of the festivities here on a hot Thursday in Eastern North Carolina. All right, coming up on the program, we got a lot of football talk going on today. The college football guru, Phil Steele, will join us coming up. Had a chance to actually talk to him earlier this afternoon. We'll run that interview coming up in about 20 to 25 minutes. So Phil Steele will give us thoughts on East Carolina, the American, the state of North Carolina, the entire landscape of college football realignment, how the transfer portal has affected the job he does with the Phil Steele Preview magazine, and all the above. So got all that coming up with Phil Steele here in hour number one. Coming up in hour number two, the Pitt County girls softball 12 and under All-Stars will join us. They're heading to Georgia, and if they win there, they'll be in the Softball World Series, which will be right here in Greenville, North Carolina, coming up later on this summer. So we will talk to the coaches and some of the players as well, as they'll make their way to the Pirate Radio studios coming up at 4 o'clock. We continue our conference previews with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, in hour number 2. Today we'll talk some Mountain West football and more. And at 5 o'clock, Marcus Crandell, ECU Hall of Famer, will join us. We'll talk to a former linebacking great, Jeff Kerr, will join us on the program, talk about his Pirate career, his career in NASCAR, and more. And if we have time, we'll have a special intern edition of Name That Sound, as intern Micah and intern Danny will go head-to-head in hour number 3. Might have to play a lightning round of Name That Sound coming up hour number 3 of today's show. But, man, we got a ton going on. Also, in just a moment, earlier today I talked to Dekota Marshall. Dekota doing big things with first and goal hauling dirt all over the state and the area. But earlier this week, may have helped save someone's life. I saw just a brutal wreck in front of him. A semi-truck had overturned. It was the driver trapped inside, and Dekota helped get him out. And we'll talk about that experience and just a little bit of football with Dekota Marshall. But we do have a couple of news and notes before we get to the Dekota interview. And by the way, Shirley Rhodes is here. Chandler Honeycutt's here. Intern Joey back. Good to see you, Joey. Intern Mike is here as well, and ready to go here on a Thursday. ECU has their new play-by-play voice, and that will be Chris Edwards. He has been named Director of Broadcasting and Voice of the Pirates for ECU Sports Properties. That was announced earlier today. He is a 2010 East Carolina graduate. He has called men's and women's athletics on ESPN Plus since November 2020. At one time served as the PA announcer for Pirate Baseball. How about that? He said, quote, "I'm humbled to have been entrusted with the duty as the next play-by-play announcer at ECU. A sincere thank you to Clay Walker, John Gilbert, and the rest of the ECU and ECU Sports Network family for allowing me to tell the stories of our student athletes and coaches. I cannot wait to get to work on helping to chronicle this chapter of Pirate athletics." So he has been on the Blue Devil Sports Network, calling some baseball, some women's hoops, some volleyball, as well as men's soccer. And he is the new voice of the Pirates. So I don't know Chris Edwards personally, but a lot of folks are happy about this call and about him being on the call for ECU Athletics moving forward. Chandler, I already introduced you. I said hey to you.
You know what makes this a great hire? Maybe
what is it, Coach?
As somebody that used to come on this show who's no longer with us used to say a solid hire. What makes this a great hire is that he's a bird.
He's a bird. You're exactly right, Coach. So how do you guys feel about Chris Edwards? Have you heard him call a game? You on board with Chris Edwards? It's nice to have him around these parts and calling the games for ECU, and he'll get thrown right into the mix not too long from now when Pirate football kicks off coming up in early September. Looking forward to that. Another quick nugget before we get to Dekota Marshall. This is a bummer. You know that there could have been a Final Four team at Minges Coliseum next season?
Yeah.
Because they're in our conference.
I was bummed to see this too.
But guess what? We will not see FAU in Minges Coliseum this year. The Pirates will play FAU on the road only, along with UAB, UTSA, and Rice. ECU will see Penny Hardaway and Memphis at home. South Florida will be at home only, as well as Tulane and Tulsa. And home and away, the Pirates will go to Charlotte and get them here. We got 2 trips to Texas, North Texas and SMU. Pirates will go to Philly to see Temple and also get them here, Wichita State, home and home as well. So, Chandler, that was a bit of a bummer because the Owls, as far as I know, are returning most of what they had from their Final Four team last year.
Yeah, they're bringing back a lot of the key pieces to that magical run last year. It was very exciting to see that because at the time we knew that they were going to be in our conference and that we were going to possibly be seeing them in Minges, and instead we will be not seeing them. We'll be seeing them on the road. But I am glad to see that Ron Hunter is going to be coming back. I always love seeing Ron Hunter back in Minges. He's a very flamboyant head coach there at Tulane.
Looking at the women's schedule, and we'll break this down with Micah. Some good news. South Florida does come here, but the Pirates will also go to USF. They are usually the team to beat in the American. Of course, that could be ECU now, the conference champions, but that'll be a home and home with UCF. ECU will also get Charlotte, Memphis, Rice, and SMU as a home and home. Home only will be UAB, Temple, Tulsa, and UTSA, so no trip to San Antonio for Micah Dennis. Away only, the Pirates will go to FAU, North Texas, Tulane, and Wichita State. So that's what it looks like on the women's side of things. All right, Chandler, we got Chris Edwards. We got some basketball schedules. Any other news and notes before we move along?
Not that I know of. I mean, one of the biggest news is one of the biggest news we've heard this week is a life being saved by a former Pirate. So we'll hear about that coming up.
That's right. Dakota Marshall, talked to him this morning. We'll air that interview now. I do want to give a quick update on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by the Buck. The Braves are back. They lost 4 in a row, but did come back to beat the Diamondbacks today 7-5. 8th inning home runs from Austin Riley and Matt Olson get the job done for Atlanta. The Brew Crew blanking the Phillies today 4-0 that final. Patrick Mason's White Sox beating the Mets right now 6-1 in the 7th inning. And we got a first place showdown going on tonight. You can hear it right here on Pirate Radio between the Orioles and the Rays in Tampa, as those teams are tied for first.
I hope the Braves are as hot as they are right now when I go to Atlanta next month and enjoy Braves-Giants. So it will be my first experience going to a Major League Baseball game. And I'm glad that the first Major League Baseball game I'll be going to is one of the best stadiums in the major leagues and also probably the hottest team in baseball right now, the Atlanta Braves.
All right, earlier today had a chance to catch up with former ECU defensive back Dakota Marshall, owner of First and Goal Hauling, and had a chance to talk about, he explained the event. If you haven't seen anything about this, it made, local news because the wreck was so big, but we talked about it with Dakota earlier today.
I'm doing fine yourself.
Doing good, and getting ready for some Pirate football. Want to talk to you about that, and also talk to you about what transpired earlier this week. And Glenn and Jonathan kind of brought this to my attention earlier this week, and I know some folks are familiar with it. And if not, I want you to tell the story to me and everyone else about you helping out somebody in need this week. A major wreck, a major accident, and luckily a good Samaritan like yourself was able to be by in the area and help out. So Dakota, could you kind of just, tell us all what happened earlier this week?
Man, well, basically I was coming down 85, headed to work about 4 o'clock in the morning, and a semi turned over right in front of me. Yeah, turned right over on the side. I don't know exactly what happened, but it was probably about maybe 300 yards in front of me, but it turned right over on the side. And I just went up there to make sure, the guy was all right. And I figured he was out the truck already, but he was kind of using his feet to try to bust the window out. And I figured the thing was going to catch on fire. So I opened the passenger. It was kind of on his side on the driver's door. So we opened the passenger side door, and he popped up, and he was, he was really hurt bad. I just drug him out, but part of that, I didn't have no help, and humans aren't light. I didn't have no help. So I'm trying to, I drug him out the truck and took him across the road. And by that time, people were still kind of flying by, and a police officer stopped, and he kind of stopped and helped us out, called the ambulance and a fire truck and stuff like that. But I just figured I'd have a little bit more help, but I don't know, at this day and time, nobody really cares. I guess everybody was getting it going where they were getting it going.
Man, and just a crazy story. Have you talked to the person who was in that wreck that you helped out? How's that person doing? Have you talked to, or do you know anything about it since then?
No, not at all. Not at all. Man. After I got finished talking to the troopers and the police officers, he just told me thank you. He kept just thanking me, which it's cool or whatnot. But I'm a truck turned over, man. I'm definitely gonna go see about it. But I don't even know who the guy was. I just seen the truck turned over and went to go get the guy out.
Man, Dakota Marshall joining us, and We have former Pirate tight end Bryce Williams on the show every Tuesday. Bryce, a couple of years ago, had the habit of seeing turtles on the road and taking them off the road and moving them to the side, Dekota. And then this year, there was a car on fire, and he stopped and he saw, or I should say, there was a car on the side of the road and smoke was coming out. And he noticed a dazed passenger, or a dazed driver, I should say, and was able to get that driver out of the car. And then a few minutes later, the whole thing went up in flames. And it's just, when I heard about your story, I was like, man, we got some good pirates, some good people who have been through here, and just reminded me of that.
Man, it takes 2 seconds to get out your vehicle, go help somebody, man.
Yeah,
it takes seconds. The thing was, when that truck turned over, 10 cars passed.
Yeah,
was 10 in front of me that passed the truck, and then when I got to the truck, it might have been 10 cars behind me that passed me. I had to dodge traffic to get to the semi on 85. I mean, everybody know how 85 is right there off exit 36. Man, it's crazy. But yeah, it was different. It was shocking. I don't wish that on nobody. That was like you was in a movie or something.
Man, and I guess your message is to maybe kind of, help your fellow man like you did, Dekota. Would that be the message for you?
Man, guaranteed, man. You see somebody in need, man, just stop and help them. It takes 2 or 3 seconds to go help somebody, man. It really took me, man. I was so in shock and adrenaline was running. Man, when I ran to the truck, bam, passenger door, pull him out, take him to the side. It might have happened in 20, 30 seconds. He was out of the truck. I thought if the thing would have blew up, I didn't want to blow up on both of us.
You were ready. You were moving too. You were ready to go. So good, man. That's awesome, Dekota. And just paying it forward. Well, you're going to need help one day. You probably have in the past, like we all have, and you just hope somebody's there to help you, right?
You're exactly right, man. You're exactly right.
Dekota, man, it is hot outside. I ain't got to tell you that. I get to work in the AC. You're outside a whole lot. So, what do you think about when you think of kind of late July football? What's going on with the guys right now? Conditioning, kind of final summer workouts, those things.
Man, I hope they're staying hydrated. That's number one because it's hot out here. That's number one. I hope they're staying hydrated, staying healthy, man. Because I'm ready for football season so we can beat Michigan.
You feeling good? How you feeling about Mike Houston's team this year?
I think they're going to do great, man. I mean, new quarterback coming in. I think he's ready. He sat behind Holders all that time, man. It's time for him to show up. I'm ready to see him play.
It is time. You going to make it to Ann Arbor for the opener?
Man, that's the plan. That is the plan.
Okay.
That is right now.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, Dekota, give yourself and your company a plug as well. How much dirt you moving today?
Man, I think I'm running about 50 trucks right now.
Just running them.
Rocking and rolling right now in Clayton, North Carolina, and Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. We just finished up Charlotte a couple months ago.
Well, keep up the good work, man, and we all knew you were a great man, and you kind of showed it with your actions there. And once again, if somebody's out there in need, don't ride by, don't take a picture or a video. Go help. Is that your words today, Dekota?
You're exactly right. That's so funny you say that clip, man. Because when you help somebody, you see somebody with their phone out, it kind of like, oh my gosh, you see me helping this man. What are you doing?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of frustrating, but man, great stuff, Dekota, and awesome. Just keep being you, man. Appreciate you joining us today. We'll catch up with you this football season. Talk more football with you.
Definitely, man. I'll stop by.
We'll see you then. Dekota Marshall joining us today as talking a little football there, but also some real life as he was, boy, I'm not up at that hour in the 4:00 a.m. hour, working hard, getting ready for hauling some dirt, and ran across a semi sitting sideways, which is never good, and helped out a driver there. And man, remember Dakota's story as a player, Chandler. He had a good career here at ECU, but unfortunately is most known for being on his back during a Thursday night game with a broken leg.
Yeah, and that was nasty. I was actually at that game, and I want to say it was a kickoff return or a punt return or something, maybe a pick or so. I can't remember, but I think he got blindsided and his leg got caught up right under him, and it was not pretty. And I think that might have been one of the first times I've ever seen a stretcher go on the field at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium as a kid. And and I knew Dekota Marshall because he was such a big piece on that defensive side of the ball. So losing him was huge. And unfortunately, when I think of Dekota Marshall, I mean, I think of that play, that injury, and
he came back. So like a couple years later, came back to pro day, just seeing if might as well give it a shot, right? And he kind of pulled up lame. I remember running and just could never get back to full strength, I think, after that injury. But has cut out quite a life for himself.
Now he's saving lives.
Saving lives and hauling dirt with first and goal hauling. So that's awesome stuff with Dekota Marshall. All right. John Moody's asking if Coach Connors is in the office today.
I'm right here.
Coach, how you doing?
I'm right here. What do you need? What does John Moody need?
John
in relationship to?
John needs some football.
He needs the football?
He needs some football in his life.
Well, I mean.
That was not Coach. Coach, good to see you. You got to run, right?
I got to go.
Speaking of people here in the office, I'm starting to get a little worried. Let's see. So, by the way, Tyler said, Joey, welcome back, man. So Tyler gives you a hello. Steve says, has intern Connor been released from radio timeout? Chad said, hashtag free Connor. So Connor had a bit of a potty mouth the other day on the air and has not been heard from since. Have you heard from him?
I haven't.
Is he done?
I haven't told him that he's done.
Is he canceled?
I told you, he's still grounded.
Are you the one that grounded him?
No, his dad texted him right after he cursed
and said you can't go back to your internship?
No, he just said nice, and then we haven't seen him since. So I figure his dad grounded him, and he hasn't left his room yet.
He had to go back to Charlotte or wherever he's from. I can't remember where he's from. And his dad was like, all right, go to your room.
And he's just
been in his room the whole
rotting
time.
away in his room, thinking about that 4-letter word he said.
Did that happen this week or was that last week?
It was Monday.
It was Monday.
And he wasn't here Tuesday, Wednesday, or today. And I'm a little concerned.
He's grounded.
Real quick, before we go to break, John, did I say John Moody? Because I meant John Monroe.
Oh.
Asked if Coach Connors was here. John Monroe does have a question. Can you get Coach Connors back real quick?
What do you need?
He says, can Coach Connors let him know where Troy D is?
I can't tell you that. I don't think Troy wants to tell me or want me to tell people where he's at. But what I do know is that he's actually he's doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good with his life. And you just got to keep moving forward like Troy D is in relationship too. But to be honest with you, I don't know where the hell Troy D's at. So I'm just kind of beating around the bush a little bit.
Thank you, Coach. Enjoy the rest of
your day. All right, I got to go. I got to go run a 40 right quick.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Coach Connors here inside the Pirate Radio studios. All right, we got a lot of football to talk about. Phil Steele, I had a chance to talk to the college football guru earlier today. We talk all things East Carolina, AAC, and the landscape of college football. We'll have part 1 of that interview when we return on Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. Big show today. A lot more to go. Phil Steele joins us after this.
Pirate fans, the East Carolina football season is just around the corner, and there's no better time than to guarantee your seat to see the Birmingham Bowl champs at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. Season ticket packages are as low as $115 in the fan zone. Pirate Club chairback seats can be purchased for $325. The 6-game home slate kicks off September the 9th against the Marshall Thundering Herd. Get your season tickets today by calling 1-800-DIAL-ECU or go to ECUPirates.com.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Steele family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Take control of your health today with ArcPoint Labs. Are you a woman interested in your overall health? The ArcPoint Labs Women's Health Panel is a routine wellness check that tests hormone levels, thyroid function, cholesterol levels, complete blood count, and more. A simple blood test at ArcPoint Labs can provide some answers to why you're not feeling your best. Visit arcpointlabs.com today or call 629-6228. ArcPoint Labs. Accurate, reliable, confidential testing. Visit artpointlabs.com.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is where the fiesta never ends. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Wednesday for shrimp tacos for only $9.99. Plus Wednesdays means all Mexican imports for just $2.99. Thursdays, enjoy your favorite beef, chicken, or vegetable fajitas for only $9.99. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty. I've been in Greenville over 25 years. I'm a proud graduate of ECU. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, then give me a call today and let me help make your real estate process fun and easy. I keep it simple and explain the process every step of the way. My goals are your goals. There are no long-term contracts, and you always deal with me from start to finish. The right home starts with the right agent. Call me, Scott Harris, at 347-1857. Go Pirates!
Coco's Sports Bar and Restaurant, located in the old Professor O'Cool's location, has daily lunch specials from 11 to 5, including their famous $1 wing special Monday through Wednesday all day long. Coco's has entertainment every Tuesday with country western night and karaoke on Thursday starting at 8. Take advantage of their weekly fresh fruit margarita specials and be sure to try the best Philly ribeye steak rolls in town while you're at it. Coco's Sports Bar and Restaurant, Greenville's Diamond in the Rough. Check them out on Facebook for more information. Go Pirates!
360 Golf Carts is Pitt County's go-to shop for all things golf carts. They have easy-go, club car, and utility carts to choose from. Whether it's for the beach, riding around the neighborhood, or working in the yard, 360 Golf Carts has the perfect ride for you. If you have issues with your current cart, take it by the 360 shop for an expert's diagnosis. From parts to sales to service, 360 has you covered. They will even deliver right to you. Visit Brian Harris today on Highway 43, just past D.H. Conley High School. 360 Golf Carts, Pirates supporting Pirates.
You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Go Pirates! Arg!
And if the elevator shines will break you down, go crazy, punch a high floor.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Pirate Water. Get ready to party, pirates. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find your new treasure. 21 and older only. Pirate Water. Why be yourself when you can be a pirate? Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's for the best Mexican food and fun in Greenville. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Follow Chico's on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's for dine-in or to go. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. News of the day, Chris Edwards, the new play-by-play voice for ECU Athletics. That was announced earlier today. All right, we got a lot of football to talk about on today's show. Let's get it rolling. Earlier today, had a chance to talk to Phil Steele. His college football preview magazine is out for another year. There is no space wasted in this magazine. Text, numbers, and all the info you need to know to get ready for the college football season, and we'll break it down with him right now as I had a chance to talk to Phil earlier today. Let's welcome on the college football guru back again for his annual chat with us here at Pirate Radio. And we're glad to have Phil Steele aboard for another year. And Phil, man, another awesome magazine, no wasted space. I have thumbed through it and still more to go. But, man, it stands the test of time, the Phil Steele magazine. And I know you're proud of that.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Clip. And, it takes us 7 months to put this thing out. And this year I talked to 122 of the 133 head coaches out there, spent about an hour with each one, going over the entire team. I feel it's like getting 133 media guides rolled into one, except it's even better because all the information's on the same spot for every team, so you know exactly where to look. It's the quickest, easiest reference out there. And to be honest with you, when I'm doing the radio shows, I'm just flipping through my magazine, and you'll hear me flipping out stats and numbers and players, and I know all this stuff, but it helps you have some quick, easy numbers at your fingertips.
Certainly, it helps us along the way during the season when we're on our pregame show. If we got a question about opponent, we can just flip right to the page and boom, there it is. And Phil, for folks out there, where can they pick up your magazine?
Unlike past years where you could get it pretty much everywhere, you can go to Walmart, Kroger's, things like that. This year it's available exclusively at 2 places, Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. So Barnes & Noble, Books A Million are the only 2 places. Save your gas money, don't be driving around looking for it. However, you can also go online to philsteele.com. Now, when you go to philsteele.com and order the hard copy magazine, we're going to give you a shipping charge because it costs to ship things naturally. However, we give you the digital magazine along with it absolutely free, and the digital magazine is updated all the way through September. So if you have the digital magazine on your phone or on your computer and you look at Northwestern head coach, it's David Braun right now, and we update all the players that are leaving by circling them if anybody does leave since the magazine came out. So that's Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and philsteele.com.
Phil Steele joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Phil, before we dive into the Pirates and the American and other college football topics, let's kind of go big picture here. And how has the transfer portal affected your job and what you do? And you reach out to all these coaches across America and try to talk to as many as you can. And I know, and then put all that onto paper. But how has the changing landscape of college football kind of affected your prep and you putting out the magazine?
Yeah, it has greatly affected it, Clip. You go back and look at maybe 10 years ago, I was able to put the magazine out, send it to the press sometime in May, and get it to the newsstands maybe by the middle of June or the start of June. But to do that now would be haphazard because the transfer portal doesn't close until May 15th. And, my interview process with the coaches, that generally takes about 5-6 weeks to get all the coaches in, matching up schedules, having these long conversations with each one. So some of the coaches' conversations ended maybe when the portal had just closed or was in that area. And what happens now is they all have my cell phone number and I have theirs, and I say, look, text me if you get anybody. I was getting texts on June 6th. We went to the press June 7th this year, 3 weeks after the portal closed. I'm getting texts, hey, we just signed this guy. It's like, hey, hold up on that page for this team. Let's add this guy to it. And we were scrambling around those last couple weeks. So it's made it a lot more hectic for us. But I think the good thing is going to the press June 7th. Heck, I had magazines, some that they were on sale June 1st. They had to go to the press May 1st to get them on sale at that time. And that means they went to the press before the portal even closed. We closed 3 weeks after that the portal closed. So it's I think we have the most up-to-date information.
Well, Phil, I think the Pirates are tough to predict this year due to the changes, especially on the offensive side of the football. And on one hand, you've got a coach heading into year 5 with the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator returning. So you love that stability. You got that on a positive note. On the other side, you've got Holden Ahlers out, Keaton Mitchell out, 2 1,000-yard receivers out, a tight end who's trying to make the Giants. So just tons of moves on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm curious, Phil, most years when you're putting out your starting lineups for each team and specifically for ECU this year, you can put those down with some pretty decent certainty, especially after talking to Mike Houston. How about your chat with Coach Houston this year? Because it looks like we're going to have a lot of battles going on in fall camp on that offensive side.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you look at the offensive side of the ball, as you touched on, losing a guy like Holton Ahlers, who's been the face of the program for so many years now. Keaton Mitchell is a guy that was dynamic last season. 7.2 yards per carry. Heck, had he not got injured against Cincinnati, I think they'd win that game. As you touched on, 2,000-yard receivers, an outstanding tight end, and then the offensive line. A lot of folks don't necessarily look at the offensive line. I think the general consensus when you look at a team, you look at the quarterback, running back, receivers. But how about 4 offensive linemen out the door? So this is offense that has a lot of question marks to it. Now, Coach Houston was very confident in the offense. He likes Mason Garcia at the quarterback position, says he has every physical gift that's out there, just lacks the experience, but it is his 4th year in the system. He's been here for quite some time, and he wanted to redshirt him last year, so he has 3 years with him. We won't be having quarterback question marks next year. The running back core, once again, he feels very good about 4 running backs. Feels they go 4 deep there at running back. They have talent there. I personally don't think they're going to have a running back match Mitchell's numbers from last year, 1,452 yards, 7.2 yards per carry. But coming out of the conversation, I felt better about the running back core. The receiving core, they add in some transfers. They added about 4 transfers in the receiving core. Once again, less experience than last year, question marks. And then the offensive line is solid, but they need to mesh. They bring in a Duke transfer in Dustin Hall. They bring in an Akron transfer in Owen Murphy. They bring in another Akron transfer in Ryan Beckman. So they did add some talent. They gained some experience last year, but very young there. Now, I think the biggest improvement for East Carolina is on the defensive line. You go back to my first conversation with Coach Houston. He wasn't overly thrilled with what he was inheriting on the defensive line. They didn't have the size he liked. But here now it's the strength of the defense. They have really good depth. He's built that defensive line up, and that's always good to be strong at the line of scrimmage. There are a couple of question marks at linebacker where they lose some key guys. The secondary, though, looks solid, and he likes the depth there. This is a team that goes from number 18 on my experience chart last year, very experienced, to number 121 this year. So a lot of my faith in East Carolina goes to Coach Houston. He's been doing an incredible job there. The schedule's not going to be easy. They figure to be a dog at Michigan, a dog at App State, probably an underdog when they host SMU on a Thursday, at UTSA, at FAU. By the way, Coach Herman loves the squad he's inheriting, and at Navy. Coach Newberry's got a very experienced Navy team, and they did more hitting in the spring. I think that's going to help them this year. So you figure East Carolina could very well be in dog in 6 with a couple of toss-up games. They're going to need this young offense to come together, especially the offensive line, and gel early for them to have the type of success they had last year. I think we're not going to see 8 wins like we did last year. If East Carolina gets to a bowl game, I think Mike Houston will have done a good job this year. Probably 6 or 7 wins is what I'm looking at for the Pirates.
Phil Steele breaking it down, and it's all there for you in the Phil Steele magazine as I am looking at it right now. And you are forecasting East Carolina to really, it's all a question of the quarterback, Phil, and how the quarterback goes, the team goes in a lot of ways. And we are waiting to see what Mason Garcia puts out on the field. Although Mike Houston, it sounds like they're going to give Alex Flynn maybe a shot to win this competition. And I don't know, in your chats with Coach Houston, how much did Alex Flynn's name come up this offseason?
Oh, he definitely feels that Alex Flynn is good enough to win in the AAC. He said he prepared his body well, knows the offense as well as the coaches do, which is really what you want in a quarterback. You want them to know that offense. He said his intangibles are actually similar to what Colton Ahlers has, and you need a good backup quarterback because let's face it, there's so many teams out there. Texas A&M started 3 different quarterbacks. NC State started 4 different quarterbacks. So you need to have a good backup. So I think with Alex Flynn there competing for the job, I do believe Garcia wins it, but I think Flynn is a capable backup quarterback that has the intangibles you want.
Phil, and folks, if you want to ask a question to Phil Steele, you can get it in. We'll talk to him for another 10, 15 minutes or so. But you can join us on YouTube, Facebook, ask those questions, Twitter as well. Robert, a bit tongue-in-cheek, says, can't wait to hear what Phil has to say about UTSA. You'd think they were the Kansas City Chiefs the way everyone is talking. Now, part of that is, me saying if I had to pick a winner of this league, it would be UTSA. I've seen a lot of other folks say that as well. You look at the gambling odds, Phil, it looks like it's kind of a big four with the Roadrunners, Tulane, Memphis, and SMU. So how about the top of the American this year? Who do you have up there at the top?
Yeah, those are the four teams I have at the top. And, when you look at UTSA, and I'll go back to my conversations with Coach Houston. I have great respect for him, love the job he's doing. I can make the same statement with Jeff Traylor. When Jeff Traylor took over, it was a UTSA team that was coming off 3 and 4 win seasons. Looked like they were going through a rebuilding year. He got them to a bowl game at 7-5. The next year, I thought, okay, they're probably a little better than 7-5. Well, guess what? They were a lot better. They went 12-1 prior to losing the bowl game. And then even last year, they got to 11-2. Once again, prior to losing the bowl game, I know Coach Traylor wants to win that bowl this year. They've got a quarterback that has been there forever. I think since the first year I wrote the magazine back in 1995, at least it seems that way.
Yeah.
Frank Harris joined their team back in 2017, so he's in his 7th year, I believe. And, he had LASIK surgery last year for his eyes. And what we saw was a great improvement of his passing. He went to hitting 70% of his passes, threw for over 4,000 yards with the 32-9 ratio. They add in a guy that started at Colorado as a true frost last year in Owen McCown. They've got the receiving core with Joshua Cephas and J.T. Clark. The offensive line's a veteran unit. Unlike East Carolina, which I mentioned is in the hundreds of my experience, they're number 13. So they've got the experience. They've got a tough home field edge playing in the Alamo Dome, and I've heard that crowd get louder and louder under Traylor's tenure. They weren't overwhelming his first year. Last year, they were very loud at points. So you look at their schedule, they get a lot of the tough teams at home. They do have to play FAU on the road and Tulane on the road, but they are my pick to be there at the top of the American this year. SMU adds in a guy like Preston Stone at QB, and while they lose Tanner Mordecai, this could be the start of the Stone Age era. So like East Carolina, a young quarterback, but Preston Stone is my number 12 QB out of high school, has experience in the Rhett Lashley system, and I think he'll do well. They've got a deep backfield, an explosive offense, and then a lot of transfers on the defensive side of the ball to make them better over there. Remember last year they gave up 431 yards per game. They, in the conference play Memphis on the road, but their other road games are Rice, Temple, which fall into the winnable category, and then the tough one at East Carolina. So that makes SMU a contender. Tulane, Willie Fritz, how do you doubt this guy? I mean, he's got them all the way to beating USC in the Cotton Bowl last year. Phenomenal. And when I went over the team with Coach Fritz, I was expecting a step back, but they have a veteran quarterback in Michael Pratt that's back. They got Jaquin Jackson back at wide receiver. And you look at their offensive line, they've got a couple guys that are NFL caliber, and Sincere Haynesworth and Prince Pines. The defense was solid last year, and it will be solid again this year. They do have to play Memphis on the road, East Carolina on the road, Florida Atlantic on the road. I don't know if they're going to reach last year's heights. They go from number 14 experience-wise to number 56, but they are a clear-cut contender. And then Memphis, I look at their talent and their schedule, and they set up pretty good, especially if Seth Hennigan can remain healthy the entire year. They avoid UTSA in the conference play, which is a nice thing. They get Blake Watson coming in from Old Dominion at running back, which should be a plus. And if you followed the Memphis offensive years past, they had always been very explosive. Haven't really had that explosiveness lately, but now they're back to having explosive players at the skill spot, veteran offensive line, I should say, and 6 starters back on defense. So I like the transfer portal, the way Silverfield's worked it, and I think Memphis has that opportunity as well. So all 4 of those are good quality teams.
Phil Steele talking AAC, talking ECU. We'll take a timeout, come back, and have part 2 of our conversation with the college football guru as we roll on a Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. Still to come, you will hear from the Pitt County Girls All-Stars, the 12 and under team, trying to go win down in Georgia and then make it to the Little League World Series coming up here in Greenville later on this summer. Also, the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, will talk some football with us. Marcus Crandell, Jeff Carr, hour 3, plus an intern edition, an ECU Athletics edition of Name That Sound coming up with Danny Beal and Micah Dennis. So got that on the way as well. It's all ahead, Pirate Radio Live. A lot more to go. Back with you. More Phil Steele when we return after this.
Let's go crazy. Let's get nuts. Let's look for the purple banana till they put us in trucks.
Here at Brown & Wood with Jeff Stein. It's summertime, and Jeff, you guys have a new car wash.
We do. We put in a brand new car wash just for the customer. So when you come in, get your vehicle serviced, we wash, dry, vacuum your car for free. It's state of the art, but free to the customer.
And this summer, you have an AC special.
It's summertime. Air conditioning units are breaking left and right. But guess what? At Brown & Wood, all summer, I have free diagnostics on all air conditioning issues. Only at Brown & Wood.
Did you know that it's illegal to dig without first calling 811? 811 is a free program that locates underground utilities, marking them with flags and paint lines so you know where not to dig. Accidentally digging into utility lines interrupts service and could seriously hurt you or someone else. If you know someone who's planning to dig, encourage them to call 811 at least 3 full working days before they dig. 811 is free, it's safe, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Greenville Utilities and this station.
The Wood Ducks are at home this week versus the Salem Red Sox, July 18th through the 23rd. Friday, the first 1,000 fans will receive a collard greens straw hat presented by WRNS. And on Saturday, the first 1,000 fans will receive a collard greens jersey presented by Down East Heating and Air. Enjoy dollar hot dogs and bring your furry friend to the Wood Ducks game on Sunday. Go online to get your tickets in advance at woodducksbaseball.com or head to the box office the day of the game. Come out and have fun at Grainger Stadium all week long. Go Woodies!
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owner's insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
The Rick House has a delicious new lunch menu. It's Chef K's Country Luncheon featuring the very best in country cooking Monday through Friday from 11 to 1. Plates are just $12.50 for hamburger steak with gravy, meatloaf, baked chicken, smoked ribs, brisket, and more. Our country sides include mac and cheese, collards, corn on the cob, mashed potatoes, southern greens, and much more. Plates are just $12.50. It's Chef K's Country Luncheon weekdays from 11 to 1 at the Rick House, 710 Red Banks Road in Greenville. Come get you some.
In studio today with Frank Lee with Appliances Superstore. Frank, why should people go see you?
We make buying appliances easy, just that simple. We have the largest selection of in-stock appliances in Eastern North Carolina, which helps our customers save money every day. We offer a 12-month warranty on all our appliances, plus we deliver and set up your new appliances and remove your old ones. Come visit us at the Appliances Superstore off 264 behind the new DMV or shop us online at AppliancesSuperstore.com. Remember, we make buying appliances easy at the Appliances Superstore.
Skip the cooking this week and liven up your gathering with catering from Jimmy John's. Choose from a variety of mouth-watering Jimmy John's specialties, including box lunches, tasty sides, 18 or 30-piece party boxes, or 12 packs of mini Jimmys, made to order on fresh-baked bread with hand-sliced meats and fresh veggies. Pick it up, or they'll set it up for you. And don't forget Jimmy John's loyalty app with a free sandwich after your first visit.
Jimmy John's, with 3 locations in Greenville. Order online at jimmyjohns.com. Go Pirates!
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American Airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
This is Dale Murphy, 2-time National League MVP and number 3 with the Atlanta Braves. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Pirate Water. Get ready to party, pirates. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find your new treasure. 21 and older only. Pirate Water. Why be yourself when you can be a pirate? Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. University PC Care has been Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006 and are the local tech support experts for any of your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. The Pitt County Girls Softball 12 Under All-Stars have arrived. We'll talk to them coming up in about 15 minutes or so. But right now, we'll hear part 2 of our conversation with Phil Steele as he continues to preview the upcoming college football season. Here's more with Phil Steele. Phil Steele joining us and talking AAC, talking ECU, and Phil got a question from Jamie, and I'll kind of make it into a two-parter. How good is the opener opponent for ECU, Michigan? And Jamie's question is, what do you think the final score will be for the Michigan game? Have you looked that far into your crystal ball, and also how good are these Wolverines we'll be seeing week 1?
This is Jim Harbaugh's best team he has ever put on the field here at Michigan, and they're a team that's gotten to the playoffs each of the last 2 years. If you look at all the national title contenders this year, Michigan's about the only one with a returning starting quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. He's going to let him throw down the field more often this year than he did last year. They got my number one set of running backs in the country, led by Blake Corum, who very well could have won the Heisman Trophy if he not got injured and missed the Ohio State game. If he had a big game against Ohio State, he was right up there in the voting. They've got my number 2 offensive line in the country. That's the same offensive line that's won the Joe Moore Award each of the last 2 years. Defensively, number 6 D-line, number 5 linebackers, number 7 DBs, and I'm talking about in the country, and the special teams are solid as well. I think that's going to be a game where Michigan actually right now in Vegas is a 35.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for my final score of the game, I only have them favored by 28. I think Houston does enough to keep them competitive in this game. I don't like young teams going on the road to the Big House playing in front of 100,000 people in their first start on the road. But I think Houston keeps them more competitive than the number. But I believe it or not, I'm going to pick Michigan to win that game.
Phil Steele joining us. I'll take a 28 compared to a 35.5, I guess, and see if the Pirates can go up there, put up a fight week 1 against the Wolverines. Let's kick around the state of North Carolina, Phil. Who's the best team in the state? Is it one of the Triangle teams? Is it Wake Forest? Is it Appalachian State? Who holds that crown for best team in the state of North Carolina this year?
I'm going to go with North Carolina this year, and North Carolina is a team that returns Drake May. Everybody knows who Drake May is. He had a fantastic season last year. And, Drake May opened up with 30 touchdown passes in his first 9 games, but then only a 1-4 ratio over the final 3 ACC games. But I think a couple of things make North Carolina dangerous. First of all, last year, remember, they clinched the Coastal Division with 2 games to go. Sometimes teams in that area, like Toledo did the same thing last year. They clinch the division, they have the title game to work to, and then they lose their last 2 games of the season. So I think North Carolina, had they been playing with something on the line, might have played better in those final 2 games. And as it was, they nearly beat NC State. Then they did lose to Clemson, but I like what I saw of them in the bowl game. They had a depleted secondary, and yet they played Oregon, a very potent Oregon team, within a single point. Now, every year when I talk to Mac Brown and go over the defense with him, he says these guys look pretty, but they just haven't played that way. And that was the case again last year. They were better, but not great. They gave up 437 yards per game, 31 points per game. They've got talent over there. These guys look good getting off the bus. Now, can they play that way? I think Miles Murphy, Cedric Gray are a couple of guys that could emerge, be big-time NFL prospects, and I do think the defense has finally improved. And offensively, Phil Long will like to throw the football all over the field. They're going to run the football more this year. They've got a deep backfield, offensive line, and that's going to take some of the pressure off Drake May. Drake May was under a lot of pass rush pressure at the end of the year and part of his downward trend. So I think with May back, with the defense being improved, the only games I've got them an underdog are at Pitt and at Clemson. I do think the ACC this year comes down to Florida State versus Clemson. However, if you're looking for a team that could burst in there from outside that group, it would be North Carolina, and they do avoid Florida State in league play this year.
Mentioned Drake May. We had a question from Robert. He says, who does Phil see winning the Heisman? And there's a page for everything in the Phil Steele magazine, including who will win the Heisman. And you've got some odds here, the favorites. And Drake May is up there, but Caleb Williams, I guess the front runner, quarterback from USC. Who are some other guys? Maybe, I don't know, is there a long shot, Phil, you would suggest folks take when it comes to the Heisman? Who do you see winning it this year?
Yeah, I got a couple of long shots for you. The first one would be a guy that your listeners are very familiar with, and that's Sam Hartman. If you go back to Notre Dame last year, They had a good defense. They had a good run game. They had a good offensive line. They had a backup quarterback. And they lost a couple games early but got better as the season went on. Well, this year, they've got a great defense. They've got a great offensive line. They've got a great run game, and they've got improved receiving core. Now they've got Sam Hartman at quarterback for Crandell, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And we look at Notre Dame's schedule. They get Ohio State at home. They get also USC at home. And if he wins a head-to-head against Caleb Williams on October 14th at home, boom, you can move him right up the chart as one of the premier Heisman contenders this year. So I think Notre Dame's got a legitimate shot at being a national title contender, or at least a playoff contender, getting to something like 10 or 11 wins this year. And if that's the case, Sam Hartman would be right up there. And then another one is a first-time starting quarterback. And it goes, I'm going to Georgia and Carson Beck. Both these guys are 18-1 coming into the year. And with Carson Beck, this is actually his fourth season with Georgia, much like Mason Garcia for East Carolina. Knows the system inside and out. And he's got a great supporting cast. He's got my number one rated offensive line in front of him, Brock Bowers, the Mackey Award winner at tight end, an improved receiving core. I mean, they added the number one receiver from Mississippi State, the top receiver from Missouri last year. Both are added to the receiving core and giving them great depth there, and they've got the run game. Georgia will be a double-digit favorite in every game, with the exception, maybe, of Tennessee this year. And add it all up, to win the Heisman, you have to have team success as well as statistical success. I think both those guys fit that category.
Talking to Phil Steele today as he joins us to break down and preview the upcoming college football season. Phil, it's kind of crazy to thumb through the magazine and you get to the Big 12 schools and you see UCF and BYU and Houston and Cincinnati, and going to be even odder in the future next year when you've got Oklahoma and Texas in the SEC, and then you've got the California schools moving to the Big 10. So just some radical changes when it comes to these conferences. Phil, what's the next shoe to drop? Is it going to be the Pac-12 making a move, and does that impact the American in some way? Well, what do you think we see when it comes to conference realignment moving forward?
I think right now everybody, Clip, is waiting for the Pac-12 to sign its TV contract and see where they're at. Because if it's a poor TV contract, we might not see the Pac-12 anymore. If it's a great TV contract, then you might see them even add some teams. I can tell you that, I was very surprised that USC and UCLA went to the Big Ten. I was very surprised when Texas and Oklahoma went to the SEC. So I have not been good at forecasting these moves, and I pretty much just wait and see when they become official. There's a lot of rumors out there all the time, but I think that the biggest factor right now for realignment coming up would be the Pac-12's TV signing that they do.
Phil Steele joining us. Phil, let's talk Final Four. Who's in your college football playoff? And we've also got a expanded playoff coming soon, so that's exciting as well. But who will be the last four standing this year? It sounds like you think Michigan will be one of those?
Yeah, I do. I think when you look at the Big Ten this year and look at the top three teams in the East, they're all very close talent-wise, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. But Michigan's got the best schedule of the three, and they'll have a chance to be favored in every single game this year. They get Ohio State at home, which I think is huge, and it's Jim Harbaugh's best team that he's put on the field. I've got Georgia up there. I think Georgia could be even better than last year, provided they get a good quarterback play out of Carson Beck. You look at their defense, it's very experienced. Best offensive line in the country, so I think Georgia has that opportunity. The other two teams I've got coming in there, one of them is not even going to be the preseason favorite to win the ACC this year, I don't think, and that's Clemson. But going over the team with Coach Sweeney, he mentioned about the defensive line. He said that if you remember that 2018 defensive line, which is one of the best ever in college football, he said this year's group may not have the star power of that group, but the group is deeper in talent and experience. So I have them rated the number one D-line in the country. They got Carter and Trotter back at linebacker. Klubnik, I think, will do well at quarterback. They've got Shipley and Maffa at running back, a veteran offensive line and receiving core. And they get their toughest two games of the year, Florida State and Notre Dame, both at home. I've got Clemson favored in all 12 games and ranked number 2 in the country. And finally, don't discount Nick Saban. I mean, Nick Saban last year had just a horrific year. They went 11-2. They had 2 losses on the final play of the game, one in overtime to LSU on a 2-point conversion. And after missing a field goal with like 18 seconds left, Tennessee kicked a field goal on the final play to beat them 52-49. This year, they only have 5 starters back on offense, 5 on defense. But when he's preseason number 1, he's only won the national title once. However, when he's not preseason number 1, like the last time, 2020, they went 13-0 and won the national title. You know the talent he's got? I think they have 3 capable quarterbacks in Tyler Buckner, Jalen Milroe, and Ty Simpson, a tremendous supporting cast. You can never discount Nick Saban. So I'm not going to be the guy that doesn't pick Alabama to make the playoff again this year.
There you go. Phil Steele joining us. Phil, a couple minutes left to go. I'm sure Troy or I asked you this in the past, but if you did answer, I don't remember, so I'll ask you again. I mean, you cover everybody now. Did you have a favorite team growing up? You know, what are your college football rooting interests before you just started covering every single team in the country?
Yeah, when I was a little boy, my favorite team was the Ohio State Buckeyes growing up in Ohio. So that was one of the things. But right now, I do have a favorite team each and every year, and numerous favorite teams, and that is whoever I pick higher than everyone else. This year, I've got Wisconsin, my number 1 surprise team. I'm buying Wisconsin shirts, and I'm going to be a Badger fan, and when Wisconsin plays Ohio State, I'll be rooting for Wisconsin in that game because they're my number 1 surprise team, doggone it.
There you go.
My number 1 most improved team is Texas A&M. I'm an Aggie fan this year. There have been years where when Kevin Sumlin was there where I picked the Aggies lower than everybody else. This year I picked them higher than everybody else, so I'm an Aggie fan. So my rooting interests have greatly changed, where I have no personal interest except I want my magazine to be the most accurate out there.
Phil Steele joining us. Phil, as we wrap it up with you, can the Pirates get to 6 and go to another bowl, 3rd straight bowl appearance? Do you see that in the cards for ECU this season?
I think they do get there this year, and the key is Mike Houston. You know, I think a lot of other teams with this kind of inexperience on the offense, I'd be concerned, but after going over the team with Houston and knowing the job he did, not only here, but also at his previous levels, I think that Mike Houston gets his team to a bowl.
Phil Steele's college football preview for 2023 is out, and hold it in my hand. You got different covers that are available across the country. Phil, one more time, tell folks how they can get their hands on this awesome preview magazine.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Once again, it's exclusively this year at Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. So don't drive around looking for it at all those other places. Barnes & Noble and Books A Million are the 2 exclusive places to get it. Or you can go online and get the hard copy at philsteele.com. And when you get the hard copy at philsteele.com, we give you the digital magazine updated all the way through September for free. So it's like getting 2 magazines for the price of 1 there. So Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and then philsteele.com.
Phil, enjoyed the chat. Have a fantastic rest of your off season, and we follow you on Twitter and get all your insight in season as well. So looking forward to following along another college football season with you this year.
Sounds great, Clip, and I always enjoy talking about the Pirates, so it was a lot of fun talking football with you today.
We'll do it again next year. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Clip.
All right, Phil Steele. It feels like football's finally here when we have our official Phil Steele interview on Pirate Radio. It could be some struggles for the Pirates, but he says they will once again get to bowl eligibility and be playing postseason in 2023. All right, let's take a break. When we return, we'll talk about another team hoping for a championship. The Pitt County Girls Softball 12 and under All-Stars are heading to Warner Robins, Georgia. If they win there, they will be in the Softball World Series right here in Greenville, and we will talk to the coaches and players from that team when we return. Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live on the way. Back with you after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Don Edwards from UBE. This year we lost a legend. Jeff Charles was the voice of the Pirates and an ambassador for East Carolina University for 35 years. To honor Jeff's legacy, we are raising money to endow a scholarship in his name by holding a 50-50 raffle on Tuesday, August 15th. Show your support for the voice by purchasing your purple and gold raffle tickets, and you could win $10,000. You do not have to be present to win, so get your tickets today at UBE and let's paint this raffle purple people for the voice.
King Mackerel's is Morehead City's newest restaurant and live music venue. Take a break from the beach and enjoy lunch and dinner on the waterfront or listen to live music on the patio. Open Wednesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and late night. And also, don't forget, Sunday Fun Day starts at 11 with brunch at King Mackerel's. Located on the Morehead City waterfront across from Gulf Docks, check out King Mackerel's on social media for all up-to-date information on Facebook and Instagram. Kick back at King Mac's all summer long.
This is Aaron Williams with Ease Plumbing.
This is Mike Hoggart with Viva Electric.
This is Mark McGlawhorn, Roland Black Heating and Cooling.
We have teamed up to form New Blue Service Group, offering Eastern North Carolina the best in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Same great local team, same great local service, just a new name. Contact us at callnewblue.com. That's callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, where we are redefining service excellence. Call us today to help with your plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Go Pirates.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates.
Hurry to Bustic Sugg Furniture's end-of-season sale for amazing once-a-season savings on stylish looks for your entire home. Right now, get $100 in MasterCard Rewards cards for every $1,000 you spend. Plus, we pay your sales tax. Let us help you find the perfect mattress. Save 20% off. Plus, get $100 in MasterCard Rewards cards for every $1,000 you spend on select mattresses. Get amazing savings during Bustic Sugg Furniture's end-of-season sale. Going on now.
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of PIP Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 5-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growatpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. PIP, where business goes to grow.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Beauty Bar Metaspa. Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Visit beautybarmetaspa.com to set up a free consultation. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. UBE has been an ECU tradition for over 50 years, and you can shop online anytime at pirateware.com. UBE has the biggest and best selection of ECU sportswear and accessories for pirates of all ages. Every day is game day at UBE. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. And we got a lot of athletes in the Pirate Radio studios right now. The Pitt County Girls Softball 12 and under All-Stars hanging out inside the Pirate Radio studios before they make a trip down to Georgia to play down there, and if they win there, make it to the Little League Softball World Series right here in Greenville, North Carolina. And we'll hear from some of the girls and also talk to Coach Brad Mettis, who joins us here. And Coach, looks like your girls are fired up, ready to go. Thank y'all for coming in today.
Well, thanks for having us, Cliff. Certainly the girls are fired up. Maybe a little nervous to talk, but fired up to play some softball, that's for sure. And fired up to get to Georgia. It's the waiting now. Ready to play ball.
It's funny when we get the ECU athletes in here, they're much more nervous to talk on a mic than they are to hit a ball or shoot a free throw or catch a pass or whatever.
There's no doubt about that. They start drawing straws to see who had to answer the questions. I got one or two who really want to, but the majority I think would be okay to be quiet.
All right, so tell us about the run you've been on so far. How did you get to this point?
Yeah, so we start with the districts, which we played in Rocky Mount this year, and beat Rocky Mount in the championship there to get to the state tournament, which was the state tournament this year was right here in Greenville at Sarah Law, which was fortunate for us. We did not start the state tournament the way we would like. We lost our first game and had to win our way back and win the game to advance to the Southeast Regional against a good team from Charlotte, Mallard Creek.
And there is another team from North Carolina that is already in the Little League World Series?
Correct. The host state, North Carolina, there's an odd number otherwise from Little League, gets to have a team at the World Series. So the Southeast or the state of North Carolina specifically could actually have two teams at the World Series if we go on and win down there.
You're off to Warner Robins, and you said you're heading out Friday, Saturday, right?
That's right. We got to be there by Saturday afternoon. First game Monday morning.
All right, good deal. And a lot of expenses here, obviously. And I know you'd love for folks to help out with that if they're able to. And how can folks go about doing that?
Yeah, certainly. The best way to get us money easily is through our Venmo. You can find that a couple ways. Our Facebook page, Pitt County 12U All-Stars. Our Venmo is just PCGSL 12U All-Stars. And anything you can give, we'd appreciate it. The girls hoping to have a long week in Georgia, so we take anything you can give and appreciate it.
And it looks like everybody's, smiling, having fun. It's been a long season, right? And this takes up a lot of the summer. But now you're starting to taste that gold, that light at the end of the tunnel here, right? So I know y'all are fired up, ready to go.
Yeah, that's right. We start the season for this starts way back in March. And we work through our regular season and finally get to the postseason. And then the postseason's a long time through the summer. And we feel fortunate. This is where you want to be playing. There's a lot of teams that are all done now and watching, and still get to be practicing and playing and getting ready for a big tournament. So we're excited.
Well, let's meet some of the players. So just step up and tell me your name. Who do we got over here? Not everybody at once. What's your name?
Kaylee.
Kaylee. What position do you play?
I play third and first.
Third and first. And what's your favorite part about hanging out with the girls, both on the field and off the field?
On the field, I like the family kind of connection with the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And off the field, kind of the same thing.
All right. And what's your favorite thing to do away from softball? What else do you like to do?
I don't do much off of softball.
It's all softball. All right. I like it. All right, Kaylee. Well, good luck to you. What's your name?
Liliana.
Liliana. What position do you play?
Catcher and center field.
Catcher and center field. What other sports do you play other than softball?
No.
Just softball.
Yep, just softball.
All right. Catching. How tough is that on the knees and everything?
It's pretty tough.
Pretty tough. Takes a tough player to catch, right? Yeah. Are you the toughest player on the team?
I don't know about that one.
Who's your favorite music artist?
Ooh.
Is that a tough one?
Yeah.
You know what? We'll come back to you. Think about that one. I didn't know I'd stump you. Do you have one? You got a music recommendation for me? I'm looking to add to my library. All right, who else do we got here? We got some returners here, right?
Yeah.
All right, what's your name?
Peyton.
Say that again?
Peyton.
Peyton. All right, what position do you play, Peyton?
Left field and pitcher.
Awesome. So you were on the team last year?
Yes.
What was that experience like for you playing in the World Series?
It was very nervous. It was just nervous, and we had good experience with it and stuff.
I watched it on television, just playing in front of all those people. Get you a little rattled, I guess.
Yes.
Tough to calm the nerves, but you're excited. You're going to go back again this year, hopefully.
Yes.
What are you most excited about for the trip coming up to Georgia?
I mean, it's a 7-hour trip with my little sister. It's not that fun.
I hear you. I got a little sister too. I understand. Hopefully you can find some fun though, right?
Yes.
All right, good deal. All right, and what's your name?
Rain,
Rain. All right, and what position do you play?
catcher and shortstop.
Okay, all right. So, what? I don't know. How's your postseason gone so far? What's the best part of your team? Hitting, pitching, defense. What's your strength of the team? Do you think?
Mine?
Of the entire team, what do you guys do best?
I feel like we're a good competition to play. Like we really compete to be we're competitive.
I can see it in your eyes. I'm getting a little nervous. You got the fire in you, the fire and rain. So the celebrations and the chants. How much do you guys practice those? In the dugout and stuff.
We don't really practice those, but the years we played in the past, we just all know them, and we just I don't know.
Do you have any secret handshakes with your teammates or anything?
No, not really.
No? Okay. All right. Fair enough. How about you? So she's not looking forward to hanging out with her little sister for a long trip. How about you? You ready for the trip?
I am. My brother's not coming with me.
All right, good. Got a lot of family issues going on, which that's real life stuff. That's good stuff. All right, we got Micah Dennis. Micah, could you get on a Micah on a Micah? So Micah plays for ECU women's basketball team, and so Micah's from Canada. Do they play softball in Canada, Micah? Did you ever play softball growing up?
In school, yeah.
Okay. Tell us about your softball career. What any good?
It was very short. I'm gonna say that.
A short career,
but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I liked making new friends.
Awesome. What kind? Can you open that door? Maybe you can hear Mike a little better. What advice would you give the girls as they head down to Georgia?
I would say to have fun, but also be focused, obviously. But yeah, enjoy your time on and off the field. Make some new memories. I know I have a lot of memories just playing basketball growing up. But yeah, don't forget to have fun.
Yeah, some of the best times of your life will be happening right now, believe it or not. So, Coach, you play to win, but you also got to enjoy the ride, right?
Absolutely, and the mixture of both is what you're shooting for, and when you really have a special season, you can do both.
Awesome. All right, anything else? You want to give any shout-outs to anybody? Y'all had y'all were ready to talk until it was time to talk. Nope. All right. Who you got?
Shout out to Ben Fox, my hitting coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
He coached the ECU club baseball team? Yeah, okay. I know Ben. Awesome. So he's helped you with your hitting? Good stuff. All right. Anything else we need to know, Coach?
No, I think that covers it. We're just ready to, hopefully we can make a good appearance and a run back here to Greenville.
Oh, and by the way, we mentioned this off the air. We can watch these games, right? They'll be streaming for the folks that can't make the trip.
Correct. All the early games will be on ESPN Plus, and the championship game will be on ESPN.
Any other girls want to talk? You want to talk? No? Okay. Anybody else? Nope. All righty then. Well, good luck, y'all. We will be watching y'all and rooting y'all on, and hopefully you can come back here and play more softball in Greenville coming up soon.
Thanks,
That'd be awesome. Thank y'all. Also, Coach Percy and Coach Brandon in the house as well. So thank y'all, and thank you, girls, for coming down today. Nice to meet y'all, and good luck to you. All right, let's take a break. More to go. Pirate Radio Live when we return on a Thursday. We'll talk more college football. The big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, will join us. Also, ECU Hall of Famer Marcus Crandell coming up in Hour 3, and former ECU linebacker Jeff Kerr as well. A lot more to go. Back with you on Pirate Radio Live after this.
I don't know what you got, but it plays with my emotions, and I want you so much, darling. I wanna hold you near, wanna whisper sweet and tender in your ear. Can't stand the thought of you with somebody.
What's up, Pirate Nation? Kyle Gaines here at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram here in Washington, North Carolina. Let me tell you what's going on this summer. We have 10% off MSRP on all Ram trim levels. That's right, 10% off MSRP on all trim levels, including on our Tradesman, Bighorn, Limited, and Laramie trucks. That's going to be 10% off MSRP on all trims. Also, we have our Washington off-road packages that we're adding on every make model here at our service department. So come check us out at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com.
When you walk through the doors of Villa Verde, you'll experience the sights, sounds, and smells of authentic Dominican flavors. This is Jay from Villa Verde, inviting you to come by this summer and try one of our amazing empanadas, our famous red snappers, grouper bites, seafood paella, Cuban sandwiches, and much, much more. Relax on the patio with a fresh mojito or a cold beer while enjoying one of our out-of-this-world desserts, like our rum pineapple cake or our famous tres leches. Villa Verde on 10th Street, a platform for good, and a proud supporter of the Pirate Nation.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Hey, John, I see your new system's having issues already.
Yeah, I used the other guy with an AC brand I've never heard of.
You should have used Delcor, John. They install train. It's hard to stop a train.
I know, but the other guy was cheaper.
Cheaper isn't better, John.
I know.
Don't use the other guy. Call Delcor. For a limited time, buy a new train system and pay 0% interest for 12 months. Visit Delcor.com for more details. Delcor, the service professionals.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business today, come and see someone on our team at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard here in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
This is ECU head baseball coach Cliff Godwin, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Beauty Bar Metaspa. Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Visit beautybarmetaspa.com to set up a free consultation. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Be sure to visit one of ECU graduate Brandon Tate's U.S. Cellular locations and experience the highest standard of customer service. The purpose of the Atlantic Wireless store experience is to inform, illuminate, and inspire. Find the location near you at AtlanticWireless.com. Atlantic Wireless, we go beyond the call. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
We got the studio cleared after having a lot of visitors there earlier. It was awesome to talk to the girls and the coaches from the Pitt County Girls Softball 12 and Under All-Stars heading to Warner Robins, Georgia. And pretty cool. We'll be able to watch those games on ESPN Plus. They'll play their first one coming up on Monday. All right, let's head out to the Pirate Radio Live line. Joining us, the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, here on a Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We'll continue to preview the upcoming college football season. Big man, how you doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I saw you wrapped up a very solid summer league gambling-wise. And a couple of things going on now, Jeff. You've got TBT, the basketball tournament, which is cranked up, which is a really neat event and a cool concept. And I saw Kansas won at the end of a game. They used the Elam ending, so it wasn't a buzzer beater, but won on the last shot last night. And they had an awesome crowd there in Wichita. And there are gambling lines for this, right, Jeff? So you got that going on, a couple other things. But I don't know, will you get involved in the basketball tournament, you think?
I probably, maybe a little, but it's grown to such a high level. There's so many teams. I mean, the summer league's a little easier for me. I don't know. Maybe we'll let some games happen. Maybe we'll find something. But I'm kind of just as we kind of turn the page on July, I'm kind of prepared for football, ready for the season. And
well, I saw your tweet, Jeff. You said basically, hey, you got the bankroll ready for football with what you did with the summer league. That takes a responsible gambler like you are.
Yeah, I try to be. That's the thing. I mean, here or there you'll have something. I'll bet a baseball game or something. But I try to keep it pretty simple and kind of just get prepared. Because look, before we know it, college basketball will be here. So you always got to have your eye on the next thing.
All right, well, we're previewing conferences. We've done the American, the ACC. We've talked Big 10, Big 12. And Nadeau said, hey, what do you want to do today? And I threw out the SEC, the Pac-12, and then I threw out a Sun Belt, a Mountain West. And this is kind of classic Nadeau. Hey, let's talk some Mountain West football. You said you love that conference. And by the way, Jeff, coming up a few years from now, let me look up ECU future schedules real quick, because we have home and home with Boise State coming up later on this decade. It'll be 2026 at Boise State, 2028 Boise State coming to Greenville, and I've been looking forward to those since they were announced. But always cool to have, we had a home and home with BYU, just teams we don't really see a lot. In fact, we'll get BYU here in 2025, but kind of fired up to see ECU on the blue turf coming up in 3 years.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it's the same old in the Mountain West. Boise State is your top team. Now, I guess this team is twofold for me. I'll say right away, I'm going to be betting this team a lot from an over standpoint early on. When I identified their roster early, I mentioned last year, when they brought on Talon Green as opposed to Hank Buckmeyer, this offense was significantly better. I'm talking about 10, 15 points a game better. It was crazy how good they were with him at quarterback. He had 24 touchdowns, I believe, in 10 games. He was very effective for this group. Their offense, I think if he can improve as a passer, I think they're probably a top 10, top 15 offense in America. They have a great running game. Their offensive line is solid. They're going to be really good on offense. The question I have is, can they get stops defensively? They lost a lot on defense. I think they only returned 4 guys. I think they lost 5 or 6 really important pieces. I have to wonder, look, they're always solid defensively, but I wonder, are they going to kind of struggle early on? They have a tough schedule to start the season. They got to play Washington. They got to play UCF. They got to play Memphis. This team could be a really good over team to start the season, but I think you have to anoint them as the number 1 team just because of how much this conference lost over the last year.
Before we run down the rest of the Mountain West, Jeff, so we've talked AAC. You like, SMU this year. You like UTSA, maybe in Memphis. But we just talked about Boise. Who is the best, in your opinion, and people around here don't like the labels, but group of 5 team in college football this year? Is it UTSA? Is it Boise? Is it a Sun Belt team, somebody we hadn't mentioned? How about what's your power rankings look like there?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the same old in the Mountain West. Boise State is your top team. Their offense, I think if he can improve as a passer, I think they're probably a top 10, top 15 Yeah, it's a good question because in college basketball we have kind of the mid-major madness, which is like what are the teams out of the top 6 conferences. I would probably say the best G5 team. I think Boise would be up there. UTSA will be up there. I think. Now that Houston and those guys, they're kind of out of here.
Yeah, right.
I would probably say Boise. Look, if Boise can find an ability to get some stops and some of these transfers work out, they have a really tough schedule. That's going to be difficult, but I would probably say UTSA is really a raring team to me. I'm really excited about what they're going to do, kind of in a new conference and with some kind of unfinished business. And that's really the last, I think, big season for them. A lot of the seniors on that team. So,
Jeff, looking at the odds, we'll talk about who the second best team in the Mountain West is. Fresno State, Air Force, San Diego State. Kind of a group with Fresno and Air Force, a bit of a drop-off to San Diego State when you look at the odds, and then a pretty dramatic drop-off with basically everybody else in the conference. So let's kind of start with who you think finishes second behind Boise in the Mountain West.
That's a really good question. I think the good thing about college football that makes it easy to break these down, that you always have like a top team or two, and then you have that kind of everybody else. And like the Big 12 every year is good offense, bad defense, and the SEC is everybody's good except for everybody's solid except for Alabama and Georgia, and they're always way better. Same with Big 10. In the Mountain West, it's to me Boise and everyone else, kind of the way I look at the Big 12. I think it's Texas and everyone else. Air Force is going to be interesting. Defensively, Air Force has the best defense in this conference. They're going to be right around where they were last season. They only give up 13.5 points a game. That's as good as they get. They bring back 8 kids on that side of the ball. They were great on third down. They were great in the red zone. They're going to be a team that is playing a lot of 17-13 type of games. But I have a real question offensively. Zeke Daniels, their quarterback's gone. Brad Roberts, their bell cow running back, is gone. They're actually going to start a kid called Jensen Jones at quarterback, a guy that, is a young kid, doesn't have a ton of experience, and he hasn't really played. And I call him young, even though he's a senior. He hasn't played much. They've had Zeke Daniels there for a while, and this is going to be something where, if he can find a way, he's had some mop-up duty, but if he can kind of command the offense in this kind of triple option group, I think they could be really solid. Their defense is going to be really good. So it's all going to be about if he can play pretty well and run this offense the way it needs to be run, they're going to be a tough out. But outside of that, Fresno, I kind of wonder where they'll be just with Jake Haener moving on. They actually brought in Mikey Keene, who I know you saw at UCF.
Yeah, UCF.
Yeah, he's out on the West Coast now, and they have a new defensive coordinator, and the defense is going to look kind of weird. So they're going to drop off on that end. We'll see if Keene, you have to figure he'll kind of keep the offense rolling. But it's kind of a mixture. Some offenses, but not great defenses. One team has a great defense, not a great offense. So we'll kind of see what they are, the rest of the team.
It's interesting to see the ebbs and flows, and I think one of the reasons is, Jeff, where schools will come in and poach coaches, and now schools will come in and poach good players from teams. But like in the Conference USA days for ECU, the American days, you would see teams go from the bottom of the standings to the top, depending on a coach hire or a coach leaving. And I guess you could say the same thing about Mountain West, because I'm looking down the odds, and you've got Nevada near the bottom, and they have been, good, really good some years. Utah State has been, had years where they were really, proficient offensively. And then on the flip side of that, UNLV had a winless season a couple years ago. They're working their way towards the middle. San Jose State, the same thing. Didn't they have a winless season? So it goes up and down. You always say it, Jeff, no matter the sport, coaching matters, the right hire matters. And the problem is with some of these teams, it's almost like the soccer now that I've gotten to know the English soccer, that those players and managers get poached so much that teams can change drastically from year to year, especially every 3 years or so. And it seems like we're seeing that in the Mountain West.
Yeah, the bottom of this conference is interesting because there's a lot of just Wyoming. They have questions at all. Can they move the ball offensively? San Jose State, I like their offense, but I don't love their defense. They lost a lot there. San Diego State, they always kind of have trouble scoring the football. But then you look at kind of deeper than that. Utah State, I think they're going to move the football. Can they get some stops? I don't think. That's going to be a great over team this year. A team that I really like that's kind of, I think you could have them at 5th, you could have them at 8th. UNLV. I think this is an interesting team. They started 4-1 last year and just had a really poor end of the season. They went out and made a wild hire. Barry Odom is their new coach, who was at Missouri for a while. Then he went to Arkansas, was doing some good things there as their defensive coordinator. And he comes in, and the coverage not bare. They have a good quarterback. Doug Brumfeld can really move the ball. This offense should put points on the board. It'll be interesting to see kind of where they are defensively, because he is a guy who, was always a defensive guy. They weren't great on defense, but, they played a lot of close games last year, Clip. I mean, you look at UNLV at Cal, lost by 6. San Diego State lost by 4. Fresno lost by 7. Hawaii lost by 6. They had a lot of close games, 4 or 5 really close games. It could have been a different season. It'd be interesting to see if this team could maybe compete as an underdog this year. We're going to find out pretty quick. They got to play Michigan very early. I'm going to keep an eye on this to maybe be a backdoor cover type of team. I got a weird feeling UNLV is not going to be a doormat, but then you have some real bad teams like Colorado State, Nevada, New Mexico is going to be bad. There's some bad football teams here.
We're pulling for UNLV. Former ECU safety, one of our favorites, Damon Magazoo, remains on the coaching staff, coaching the DBs there, even with the coaching change. So got a little soft spot for the Rebs, and we'll be pulling for them this year. All right, Mountain West wise, Jeff, I don't know, any standout players you really like? You've gone over some names, but any future NFLers, any guys that to keep an eye on for folks here on the East Coast that don't watch a lot of Mountain West football? Who are the players to watch in this league?
Yeah, like I said, I think you can key in on teams that can score the football. This is a great over conference. I mean, when you're looking at the Utah States, even like the UNLVs, questions on defense. Boise State's going to have questions on defense. I'll bring up Taylon Green again. I can't continue to say how much and how important he was to the renaissance of this offense. I mean, it's really incredible when you look at how good they were when he came in. I mean, Cliff, when you look at their first couple of games, they're struggling. 14, 17. They scored 10 against UTEP. Then he comes in. They dropped 35 on September 30th in the fourth quarter against San Diego State, and they didn't really look back offensively. Taylon Green is a really good player. You look at the backfield, George Holani at running back. I'll also mention, I'm interested in seeing what Mikey Keene looks like in that Jeff Tedford offense. Keene, I think, can really flap his wings and do his thing. Jalen Mayden's a good player, quarterback at San Diego State. He might be the guy that is the next great quarterback there. They also found a big spark offensively in the second half last year. Their offensive coordinator is Ryan Lindley, a familiar name. He was in the NFL for a while, was a former quarterback at San Diego State. So keep an eye on him. And then I'll mention just one other guy for Utah State. They have a quarterback, Cooper Legas. He's a really good player. He can kind of wing it around. They're going to score a lot of points. They may give up 33, 34 points a game, but they're going to be a fun offensive team.
Jeff Nadeau joining us, Pirate Radio Live Line. Jeff, we talked to Phil Steele earlier today and got his thoughts on the Pirates, the American, the landscape of college football, and he gave us his college football playoff. I don't know if you're ready to do that quite yet, but he said, and look, you could ask just about anybody on the street that doesn't follow it as closely as you or I or Phil Steele, and they might mention the same teams, but he does like the Michigan Wolverines a lot. Said this is Jim Harbaugh's best team he's had there in Ann Arbor. He is not ready to buy into Florida State yet, so he's going to take Dabo and Clemson to get there, to have a powerful regular season and to get to the playoff. And then he said, you got to go Georgia, and he said he'd be a fool to, count out Nick Saban. They talked about how they had a down year last year, and that down year was 11-2. So again, it's kind of the norm. But I don't know, any outsiders? Have you thought about your college football playoff 4 yet?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think two teams that I'll kind of keep bringing up. I mean, I think a lot of Phil's thoughts are similar to mine. I'm not ready to buy Florida State just yet. I mean, Jordan Travis is a great player. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep saying it. I love Clemson. I think that new offensive coordinator, full season for Klubnik, kind of that's his team now. I really like them. And look, I mean, Texas has not won the Big 12 since 2009. That's 14 years essentially. If Steve Sarkisian can't win it this year, I don't know what to say. This team is significantly better than any other team in the Big 12. I don't think it's close. I think there's some solid teams in the Big 12, but no one is on Texas's level. There are two teams that I have interest in. But when you look at the top four, you really have to kind of keep it close. I mean, Alabama and Georgia are likely going to be there. USC is going to be really good. But for me, it's other than that, it's you got your Michigan, they'll be in there. The only other teams, Texas, maybe Clemson, Ohio State, maybe you take a flyer on another team like Oklahoma or Washington.
We haven't talked SEC yet. Who do you like beyond Georgia and Alabama, if anybody there, Jeff? Nobody jumps out at you, really?
No.
Okay.
It does. I mean, I think you kind of have to keep it simple, Clip. I mean, I think I always tell people, there's a lot of folks that want to take these flyers on Heisman trophies, or it's not like college basketball. It's just not. College football is very difficult to win in. The NCAA tournament's so great because if Bryant University is good enough, they can get to the national title game. We saw that with Florida Atlantic this year or San Diego State. The college football playoff is totally different. I mean, let's just say East Carolina is undefeated, okay, it's possible they may not get to the Final Four. That's crazy. Different. It's not easy to do. It's not. There aren't a lot of teams that can do it.
I know, and it's very frustrating. Although, and it would kind of it would depend on what happened after this. But East Carolina does play in Ann Arbor week 1, so if they beat Michigan and run the table, now unless Michigan collapses, but heck, if ECU wants to actually do it and pull a Cincinnati, this would be a good year to do it, Jeff, because you got a big boy right there to start the season.
I mean, that's a good point. I guess you never know. I mean,
but it took. Look, we saw it, Jeff, with the Bearcats. It took them 2 perfect seasons to get there, and some help. Like they went undefeated, didn't get to the playoff. Did it again the next year. Had some teams around them kind of crumble and got in. It takes multiple years of not losing any games and some help around you for one of those teams to get in.
I will say, though, Clip, I mean, when you're talking about SEC, a team to remember, we're not talking about this team much because of the big boys, but LSU is possibly has the best I mean, I think they do have the best quarterback coming back. I mean, Bryce Young's gone. Stetson Bennett's gone. I mean,
Richardson's gone from Florida.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is really good. And I'll tell you another name to keep an eye on in the SEC. Harold Perkins, the linebacker for LSU, is incredible. He was incredible as a freshman. You get Keyshawn Boutte out of there, who was just kind of a character, but he just didn't seem interested. That's a team to keep an eye on with Brian Kelly. New year, finally kind of a straight year, not worried about too much. They start the season out again with Florida State, and we remember that game last year, kind of a wild ending, the missed extra point. LSU, they're kind of, I think, the Tennessee this year. Tennessee was last year. I think LSU's this year. I like Dave Daniels. He was great at Arizona State. They've got some real talent coming back, LSU.
They do. Love talking football with you, man. We'll keep it going. Do it again next week. We only got one more Thursday after this without football. The Hall of Fame game is actually 2 weeks away from tonight. So crazy to think about.
As of Saturday, I mean, or close to it. I mean, the season starts the 26th of August. I've already bet a couple of games that day.
You got week 0 action already?
Oh, I had 3 week 0 bets over.
I tell you what, let's table those for next week, so we'll have something to talk about.
Well, the lines are always moving, but I will.
That is true. We'll get them in next week and preview another conference. I always enjoy it, big man. Anything you need to plug? What you got going on?
No, I really always appreciate you having me on. If you like crime content, check out the Sit Down. Check me out on TikTok, Clip, please. If you're on TikTok, I know, Clip, you're on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, check me out. I'm almost at 100,000 subs, so please check me out on TikTok. The Sit Down Crime Pod. Please check it out.
All right, Jeff. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, guys. See you.
There he is, the big man on campus. He gets a lot of things right. One thing he got wrong, I am not on TikTok. So, but Pirate Radio is, Chandler is, and Chandler, you're probably already subscribed to Nadu's TikTok, right? The Sit Down
podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I've gotten into the mafia stuff like in the past 2 or 3 years. I want to say during COVID I got into it. During COVID I saw Goodfellas for the first time, and I fell in love with like the mafia type of movies and stuff. And the show I'm watching right now on Hulu is Godfather of Harlem, which is about Bumpy Johnson. And Bumpy Johnson's actually from LaGrange, North Carolina. Just a fun fact. But he was one of the big kingpin men up in Harlem, New York. So, he's a lot of great content, especially if you like mafia stuff. Jeff Nadeau has it with a sit-down podcast on TikTok.
Do you know Tony Shanks?
Do I? He's a Pirate Radio follower and commenter and hates Alec Makarevich and has threatened Alec Makarevich if he comes back to Greenville.
Jamie wants to know if you do dance videos on TikTok.
Who, me? No, I don't have any videos up on TikTok. I like to watch other people's videos. I don't have any dance videos, even though I do want to maybe do some with you guys. Would that be fun?
No. I have
like
a
to do
TikTok.
That? No. You want to do a TikTok dance, Shirley?
All
of us?
Sure.
Look,
I'm on TikTok.
That's what Joey and Micah.
We can do one with Micah.
Yeah, that's what they're here for.
Yeah, because I'm afraid I'm going to pull a muscle or something.
Yeah, nobody
throw out
wants to
my
see me
back.
dance. Let's take a break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 2. Coming up, hour 3, ECU Hall of Famer Marcus Crandell, former Pirate linebacker Jeff Kerr, and more coming up when we return after these words.
It's the summer shopping season at Brown & Wood. Here with Jeff Stein. Jeff, I've noticed a lot of great GMC pickup trucks on the lot.
Yes, sir. We have 2500s and 1500s in stock and the all-new 3.0 Duramax diesel. We earn 30 extra trucks on allocation, so go online, brownandwood.com, or stop in, build your truck. We'll get it coming for you. Brown & Wood, voted number 1 by the customer in Greenville. 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier restaurant and bourbon authority. Jefferson's, Basil Hayden, Woodford Reserve, and a Midwinter Night's Dram are just a few of the incredible bourbon options. The Rick House features the very best steaks and fresh, made-from-scratch pastas. The Rick House can host your corporate event or special parties in the 3,000-square-foot banquet hall. Join the Rick House for Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and for the wine tastings on the last Friday of every month. The Rick House.
Pirate fans, the East Carolina football season is just around the corner, and there's no better time than to guarantee your seat to see the Birmingham Bowl champs at Donnie Ficklin Stadium. Season ticket packages are as low as $115 in the fan zone. Pirate Club chairback seats can be purchased for $325. The 6-game home slate kicks off September the 9th against the Marshall Thundering Herd. Get your season tickets today by calling 1-800-DIAL-ECU or go to ECUPirates.com.
And then it was 2 seagulls!
We're here for the booty.
Party?
Pirate Water is here. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find Pirate Water in a location near you.
We're going plankton!
Pirate Water is here. 21 and older, please drink responsibly.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Ahoy there, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express, your local tire and wheel shop in Greenville, offering affordable, easy payment options for easy ownership, savvy? Our customers love our treasure of tires and wheels, easy payment options, and customer care package, too. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Hey Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Beauty Bar Metaspa. Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Visit beautybarmetaspa.com to set up a free consultation. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Be sure. Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room is your favorite place in downtown Greenville for lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends. Fifth Street Hardware serves lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Plus, they serve brunch starting at 10:30 on Saturdays and Sundays. Follow Fifth Street on Instagram for the latest events and specials. Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room, right beside the State Theater in downtown Greenville. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Man, we are rolling through the guests today. I've already heard from Dekota Marshall, former Pirate, Phil Steele, the Pitt County Girls Softball 12 and Under All-Stars, the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau. We still have two more guests to get to. Mark is kind of a co-host, the ECU Hall of Famer, Marcus Crandell, going to join us at 5 o'clock. And looking forward to talking to Jeff Kerr. When I was a younger fella, enjoyed watching him play linebacker at ECU, and then went on to a career in NASCAR. So we got a lot to talk about with Jeff Kerr coming up in hour number 3. And if we have time, we're going to try to squeeze. We're going to do it. I keep saying we're going to try. If nothing else, Shirley, we'll go lightning round edition of Name That Sound, because Micah showed up and said, I'm ready. Like, it was game day for her. And if I told her it was postponed, she'd be upset. And we would have got it in earlier, but Danny Beal had some kind of, what'd you say, Chandler, he had going on?
Physical therapy,
and
he had to get his body right,
as
if he plays baseball or throws a baseball for a living.
Is that more important than this Pirate Radio internship?
I guess.
You got to get your priorities right. But hopefully Danny Bill will be joining us here at some point as well. Talked to Landon Ginn today via text and trying to get him on Friday. If not, we'll talk to Landon Ginn next week. But we've been catching up with all the baseball guys. Had Josh Groves on last week, Josh Moylan yesterday.
Tyler Brott.
I had Tyler Brott the previous day. So I've been talking to the former Pirates. I need to, I guess I should reach out to AMAC and see if he'll come on the show.
I mean, why not?
No, I mean, hey, Alec, you want to...
People probably think you're joking, but I mean, why not?
Yeah, if I can get his digits, I will.
Why do you care about that guy? He's not a Pirate anymore. Why do you care? Why do y'all keep talking about Alec Makarevich? And why? I'm going to go ahead and complain because, I mean, I know we're going to post things about him in the future, and you want to get him on your show?
Yeah.
Dude, get over him. He's gone. He's not a Pirate anymore. He wants to be in Raleigh. He wants to be with the Wolfpack. He wants to be with that darn Elliott Avent.
Hold on. Is Gary Hahn here?
Hey, Clip.
Gary.
It's the Case transfer portal.
We got play-by-play voice of the pack, Gary Hahn, joining us. Gary,
Touchdown State!
What do you think about Alec Makarevich joining the pack?
Well, AMAC, I tell you what, AMAC is a really good baseball player, and he's going to be good for the Wolfpack. Can't wait for him to be a part of the pack, the Pack 9, as we like to call it here in Raleigh. And, well, the thing is that I don't do play-by-play for NC State baseball, but I do stuff for football and basketball. But, yeah, glad that AMAC is a Wolfpack.
You know what I think, Gary? I think we should close the borders here at ECU and not let any of our players get over the wall and get into other places.
All right, now you're getting political, and I don't want to get political on sports.
You don't want to get political? You don't want to get political?
And down in El Paso.
Gary, thanks for joining us.
All right, I got to go.
Wait, come back, Gary. Is Dave Doran going to do that thing where he wins just enough to keep people kind of happy, but not enough to do anything special?
It's going to be a 7-5 season for the Wolfpack this year.
All right.
And I got to go, Clip.
Are you still employed?
I still am employed. I took about a 2-week hiatus for the Wolfpack, but I need to go, Clip. I need to get prepared for that awesome Thursday night game against the Huskies of UConn.
All right, Gary. Thanks for joining us. Gary Hahn, while Chandler's away, we need to get Coach Connors back in here because John had one more question for Coach Connors.
What do you want?
Jeff Connors, give us a rundown on what Connor said earlier this week. John wants to know.
Well, I tell you what it was locker room talk, and he forgot that he was on the radio. And what we tried to do was say, hey, don't cuss on the radio in relationship to the FCC. And instead, he said the S word. Wasn't supposed to say the S word.
Nope.
So I made him run 20 laps around the Pirate Radio studio.
And I
said 20 laps, ready, go.
I guess he's still running because we have not heard from him since. Coach Connors, thank you for being here.
I got to go.
All right.
I got to do a podcast.
All right. Well, enjoy that. And Chandler, welcome back in.
Man, can I please join the show?
Please do.
Like, first of all, why did we not have Gary Hahn? Why do we not have Coach Jeff Connors here on the description?
That is your job.
I was not told they were going to be here. They just showed up.
I wasn't either.
All right, so you know how you did like a magic trick with cards the other day?
Yeah.
Like, apparently you are a magician because you just say, here's Gary Hahn, and Gary Hahn just shows up.
And people just show up.
Here's Coach Connors. Coach Connors, how he just comes out of nowhere.
It's crazy.
Like, I know you wanted not me to talk, but like, you know how the doors make noise when they open?
The doors make noise.
They don't even make noise, and they show up in this building.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I can't explain it. All right, Joey, welcome back.
Don't cuss.
Joey ain't gonna cuss.
Hey guys, how we doing?
We're good. Welcome
Joey,
back, man.
How you doing, Joey?
Pretty good.
Joey was like, "Hey, I told you I was doing that thing the last 2 days." I was like, "No, you didn't." Did he tell you anything?
He said I could have swore that I said it on the radio last week. I think we would have known that if you were like working the soccer match in Chapel Hill last night.
First of all, I didn't really like hype it up to be like this big old ordeal.
You didn't hype it up at all. You didn't
say anything.
I mean, it was pretty regular. It's just a little job, it was a 2-day job, and it was nothing.
What exactly were you doing in Chapel?
Hold on. Let's set it up. Which I think is what you were trying to do there. But let me set it up. I didn't know until yesterday when Ken Watlington sat here and said there's a big sporting event in Chapel Hill tonight. I was like, what in the world is that? And then he told me Chelsea is taking on Wrexham. Chelsea, one of the most famous soccer clubs in the world. Wrexham famous for being owned by Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, and having a documentary out about them. So they played a friendly preseason,
so in the summer, all
whatever.
the European teams that come over and play these U.S. matches.
Well, Joey was a part of that.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't even know.
So what did you do?
So all I did was stay in the concourse club and just kind of like floated, making sure people were in the place that they had the credential to be for.
How'd you get that job?
I was actually sent to me by one of the professors here in the kinesiology department.
Awesome.
They were looking for some volunteers. It was a paid opportunity. I said, why not?
Man.
Yeah. And that's a pretty cool gig. So, Joey, did you make sure that everybody that had the proper wristband was in your area, and if they didn't, they were out of your area?
A few. Not everybody, but, sometimes when you know where you're at, you got to make some exceptions.
I don't know if I agree with that. Like, who did you let slide?
Tyler Hansborough.
So you saw Tyler Hansborough in the section he was not supposed to be in, but you decided, you know what? He kind of knows his way around Chapel Hill.
To be fair to him, he was in a better section lower down. It's called the Touchdown Club. There's just a bunch of people right behind the touchdown, right behind the end zone. And most of them, to enter, to go to the top suites, you got to go to the Concourse Club. To go down, you got to go to the Concourse Club. So we saw a bunch of people gathering around, and I assumed he just kind of walked through the doors. It's Tyler Hansborough. Nobody's going to stop him. And, he just mingling.
You could have been that guy that said, sir.
Now, like I said, there was two officers that were there, big Wake Forest guys who were like trying to egg me on to go ahead and do it.
Get this guy out of here.
But I told him, I kind of need the money from today, so I'm not going to do that.
Would Tyler Hansborough have said, do you know who I am? Do you think he'd have been that guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he would have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't look like anything like that, but like he was taking pictures with kids and stuff like that. I think he would have easily just turned around after taking a picture like, are you serious right now? And unfortunately, he was around some other players that I know were on his team. I just couldn't recognize them at the time. But
you said you saw some other Tar Heels up there, right?
Yeah, so I was actually no, I didn't see Danny Green, but I was kind of lollygagging around as I was supposed to be floating. I kind of caught a glimpse of the game, and on my shoulder I get tapped. Asking where the bathroom is. I turn around and it's Marcus Page standing next to Luke May and Kenny Williams, and they're just all looking at me like, where's the bathroom? It's like, it's over there, not realizing these are UNC guys. Like, you should know.
I know, really. Why are they asking you? Did you act like were you like, oh, wow, what's up, Marcus Page?
No, so like it was kind of part of the job description. Like, it was literally, I had to take a quiz to get this position, and one of the biggest questions was like, if you see anybody that's of stature or recognizable, like, you're not supposed to do anything, because they pay for this exclusive, not them.
Yeah,
they go to these things for this type of exclusivity.
So when you turned around, like Marcus Page is like, hey man, where's the bathroom at? And you turn around and it's kind of like you see in maybe like TV shows or like in movies where they just kind of stare. He's like, hey man. And you're like, you're Marcus Page.
I mean, that's kind of how it was.
You're Psycho T.
I kind of looked at him and was like was very shell shocked a little bit because he could have just looked around and found the bathroom.
The bathroom's that way.
Marcus, what was it like to make one of the most amazing shots that nobody will remember because?
Okay, you didn't have to go there.
Right. Because the other guy made one right after you to win the championship. Chris Jenkins?
Yeah. Chris Jenkins.
Yeah.
Jenkins for the win.
Man. All right. Well, good story there, Joey. That's an excused absence.
Awesome.
If anybody knows where Connor is, please let us know.
The late, great Jeff Charles would give you a cool, neat story.
Cool, neat story from Joey today. All
right. Neat story.
Thank you, voice. Let's take a break. When we return, ECU Hall of Famer Marcus Crandell will join us inside the Pirate Radio studios, and we'll talk to another former Pirate great, Jeff Kerr, the linebacker, coming up to talk football, a little NASCAR, and everything in between. Also, if Danny Beal shows up, a battle of the interns, Micah Dennis and Danny Beal, in a lightning round of Name That Sound. Got that and more coming up, and a giveaway. Hour 3, Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Don Edwards from UBE. This year we lost a legend. Jeff Charles was the voice of the Pirates and an ambassador for East Carolina University for 35 years. To honor Jeff's legacy, we are raising money to endow a scholarship in his name by holding a 50-50 raffle on Tuesday, August 15th. Show your support for the voice by purchasing your purple and gold raffle tickets, and you could win $10,000. You do not have to be present to win, so get your tickets today at UBE and let's paint this raffle purple for the voice.
The Beach Tavern Bar and Grill has been the place to be for over 50 years. BT's is the best local sports bar in the heart of Atlantic Beach. Located on West Fort Macon Road across from Pacific, BT's has daily food specials, a late night menu, cold beer, pool, darts, and live entertainment for everyone to enjoy. Make it a summer to remember at the Beach Tavern Bar and Grill. Follow BT's on Facebook and Instagram for all the daily specials and events. BT's, the place for fun in Atlantic Beach this summer.
Serving those who serve is a lifelong mission, one that Budweiser supports with Folds of Honor. Together, they've been helping military families for over 13 years by funding life-changing scholarships. So join me in raising a Budweiser to raise funds for families for American heroes. Grab a case of Budweiser today at your favorite local retailer. Proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing, supporting our military veterans and the Pirate Nation since 1989. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch, Budweiser, Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Did you know that it's illegal to dig without first calling 811? 811 is a free program that locates underground utilities, marking them with flags and paint lines so you know where not to dig. Accidentally digging into utility lines interrupts service and could seriously hurt you or someone else. If you know someone who's planning to dig, encourage them to call 811 at least 3 full working days before they dig. 811 is free, it's safe, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Greenville Utilities and this station.
360 Golf Carts is Pitt County's go-to shop for all things golf carts. They have easy-go, club car, and utility carts to choose from. Whether it's for the beach, riding around the neighborhood, or working in the yard, 360 Golf Carts has the perfect ride for you. If you have issues with your current cart, take it by the 360 shop for an expert's diagnosis. From parts to sales to service, 360 has you covered. They will even deliver right to you. Visit Brian Harris today on Highway 43, just past D.H. Conley High School. 360 Golf Carts. Pirates supporting pirates.
Familia is your go-to spot for the best Italian dishes around, including pizzas, pastas, salads, and homemade desserts.
That's Familia.
Enjoy half-off wine night on Wednesdays, $3 drafts on Thursdays, or get a pizza of the week for just $12.
That's Familia.
Place your order online or call 689-6330, and Familia will have your order ready in their drive-thru window for pickup.
That's Familia.
Clip, really?
Oh, sorry.
Familia on Fire Tower Road in Winterville near Pitt Community College.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medi Spa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations available by calling 752-1406 or visiting beautybarmedispa.com. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. We got a giveaway coming your way. If Danny Beal shows up, we'll do a quick edition of Name That Sound with Micah Dennis from ECU Women's Basketball and Danny Beal from ECU Baseball. But we have ECU Hall of Famer Marcus Crandell joining us in the Pirate Radio studios. Marcus, good to see you, man.
Good to see you, too. Another blessed day.
Yes, sir. And as the temperatures get hotter, it means we're getting closer to football.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Kind of like
Bring on the heat, baby. Bring it on.
A bright side to this heat outside. It has been hot. And one more note before we get to our guest. Chandler went up to you a moment ago when you walked in and said, the voice, Jeff Charles, is joining you in the hall. How about that announcement?
That is awesome, man. Yeah. That is awesome news. I'm sure Mr. Crumpler will be very happy.
Exactly.
Ecstatic about this. So, yeah, very well deserved, as we know and we mentioned already. But, man, I'm glad he's joining me and a lot of other people that's on there already.
We'll talk more about that in a moment, but we'll welcome on our guest right now on the Pirate Radio Live line, former ECU linebacker. And remember when we had Purnell on, talked about one of the all-time linebackers voted by the ECU fans. This man found himself on that list as well. He is Jeff Kerr, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Jeff, we appreciate your time. How you doing, man?
Yeah, doing well, guys. Good to be here.
Absolutely, and show a little love to the defensive side of the ball, Mark. We've had on a lot of receivers and running backs. Good to get a linebacker on, right?
It is, Jeff, and we all got along, right? So it was never about a position or a defensive group. It was all about one, man.
It was all about winning.
Great to have you on.
Do was win.
So, Jeff, we got a lot to talk about with you today. We got to talk football and some NASCAR, and we'll kind of start there. Tell us what you're up to these days. What are you doing now? Where are you living?
I'm working as a financial planner here in Troutman, North Carolina, which is just outside of Mooresville, North Carolina, which is Ray's City, USA.
All right, so you're off the field. I guess, are you off the track as well at this point in your life?
Yes, I am. I did my last race about 2 years ago, and I will never step back on another track again the rest of my life.
There you go.
I'm retired.
Is it kind of like the football field? You hung up the cleats and that's it? No more?
Yes, I did. The very last race I did, I had a kid that was coming in driving a truck, and he dialed in too much rear brake into the car, or into the truck for his pit stop, and he looped it around and hit me, and that was the last time I will ever step off of a rest of my life.
Man, dangerous game there. And talked to when Jeff Connors joined us, Marcus, about a lot of football players going into NASCAR. Man, we had a lot of Pirates go that route. Of course, Big Ed Watkins and Dustin Lineback. I think Zico Pursuit, just a number of guys that got into it. And Jeff, I mentioned it with Coach Connors when he was here, that it's pretty cool when you go through that pit and you have a good time and everybody's high-fiving and celebrating. It kind of reminds me of a football team after a touchdown. So you still get that athleticism, that competition, and also that camaraderie, right, when you're involved in NASCAR.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I love the most about it, was because it did have so much transfer from football into that sport, and it was great to be able to have those relationships and carry on that same mentality, that locker room mentality whenever you worked, and to get paid for it, to still do something that you love, and to have a athletic career past football is very tough to do in this world, but I was very blessed to be able to do that and had a good time doing it.
That's awesome, Jeff. Now, we know there's a lot of correlation in regards to the camaraderie and all of that as far as the locker room. What was the biggest adjustment for you coming from the sporting world not the sporting world, but the football field onto the team of, I guess, what do they call it? The crew, the pit
crew, yeah. What
was it like for you?
For me, it was tough because I was a very emotional player. When being on the defensive side, I think an offensive mentality probably comes to a better transfer into racing, just because being on the defensive side, I played off of emotion and really got into the sport with football. And with racing, you can't really jump up and down and get too excited, because your next pit stop is the one that really defines you. It's not about the last one that you did, unless it's the very last one of the day, and you pray you got that one right. But it's always about that very last pit stop, and sometimes you get up and you get a little too excited, but at the end of the day, it's all about just getting it right every single time, and there's no room for error in that sport at all.
Probably just a shorter span of time to celebrate, right? Because you still have that same correlation in regards to, you get up there on the football field and you make a big play, Jeff, but you got to turn right back around and line up again and do the same thing over and over again, right?
That's exactly right. And you can't really you can't rest on your laurels. You can't do anything to sit back and say, hey, I did a great job on that one, because you got to do a great job every single time, and that's what they expect. And that's the cool thing of it, is that you are expected to be your best at any point in time. And when you're racing, you have to wake up very early in the morning to be able to go do your job you got to hop on an airplane, and sometimes 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. You get to the racetrack at 7 a.m. and drive out to the track, and then you set everything up in the heat of the day like it is right now in July. And I mean, it can be upwards of 120 to 130 degrees on that racetrack, and and you got to be able to perform in some very difficult situations and circumstances, and that's very important to both football and to racing. And there's a lot of circumstances that were out of your control, but you had to really be able to control what you could control and keep that within a perspective, and understanding how you can do that and really get the best out of it.
So now, guys, I believe NASCAR will send folks out to like pro days and practices and to talk to teams and stuff like that. But how about when you were coming out, Jeff? Like, were you a NASCAR fan? Did you have any knowledge of it? How did you make that transition? How'd you get the call and end up doing that?
They were like, "Oh, this guy's good at football. He's bound to be good at racing too." And I had no idea what racing was, but I learned pretty quick, and they threw me into the fire probably within a month and a half of trying to learn how to do a pit stop. And I can remember the first time I jumped off of a wall, and I went to the wrong side of the car one time. and Michael Waltrip got pretty upset about it and over-revved the engine and blew the engine. And
oh, man.
Experience in racing. But to say that was the beginning of my career, and I did a lot in my career that was very much better than that. But to say all that, it's really a difficult sport. We always used to say when we're recruiting people to get into NASCAR is nobody grows up playing pit crew. So you have to, you have to get people that are good athletes, and not only good at football, but just good at being and putting their body in positions that you're not used to, and being able to acclimate to all kinds of different stimuluses that are thrown at you at all times.
Jeff, you mentioned Michael Waltrip. Who were some of the drivers you were able to work alongside of, and who were some of your favorites that you got to be with?
Yeah. So Martin Truex Jr., he was one of the ones that we spent a lot of time with, and we won some championships with him, a whole lot of races, and great guy, all-around guy, and spent a lot of time fishing with him, and just off the track experiences as well. He's a good person, and he and Matt Kenseth, they're both probably top of the line people that you would say, hey, I'd introduce him to anybody in my family, and he would always be a high class A personality. So those are good people, and worked with Casey Kane. He's another great guy, but just about anybody in the industry we've worked with in some shape or way or fashion, and whether or not it's coaching for one of the teams that they put out in the truck series with Kyle Busch, or if it was somebody else like Dale Jr. I mean, for instance, we put pit crews together for him as well, and also did some work for him on some of the other series. But a lot of great personalities in the garage, and a lot of great times of doing this over the years, and really enjoyed it.
And before we move on to football, how about your favorite tracks, Jeff? What was your favorite, kind of least favorite for the job you did, or maybe even just for the sights and sounds and crowds? What tracks did you enjoy the most?
I think some of the best places we went to were Bristol. It always got the best out of you because it's the most difficult, and sometimes the most difficult is the one that you really have to put the most work into and be ready at all times. But Bristol is a very, very tough track, just because you got really tight pit stalls and a really fast environment. Anything can happen at any point, and very, very difficult to work in, but very fulfilling if you can win that race. And I've won that race before twice, I think, and that was a neat race to win. Some other ones that were really fun were the Brickyard. That was really good. Never won that race, but that's another difficult track because there's not much room, and the cars are going about 55 to 60 mile an hour behind you when you're trying to jack a race car. So that kind of puts you on your toes at times. And but some of the best memories came from some of the toughest environments, and that's really where you find out who you are.
That's awesome, Jeff. Hey, now there's a movie coming out, or maybe already out. I get in my own world sometimes. Mm-hmm. What is it, F1 or something like that? Jeff, are you familiar with the movie that's coming out about the people doing, actually, I think they didn't grow up. As you said, people don't grow up wanting to be in the pit crew or whatever, but I guess there was a video game and all of those things. I think it's being made off of that, so to speak.
Oh, you're talking about the Gran Turismo? That movie?
It.
Okay.
That's it.
There's also apparently an F1 movie with Brad Pitt. I don't know if that's the same or a different movie, but it looks like we got a couple of them.
A couple of them, yeah, for sure. Are you familiar with those, or the Gran Turismo?
Not so much. I've not. Well, I don't really spend a whole lot of time. All my time these days is watching the stock market go up and down. I know other people don't have to do that on a day-to-day basis, but I tell you what, that stresses me out sometimes more than any quarterback like Mark C. throwing the ball 45 yards over.
So what's that transition been like, Jeff? You go from the football field and this kind of statistics and all of those things, numbers, right? So you're kind of working in the realm of that right now. So what's that been like for you over the past couple of years?
Yeah, it's been a great transition. Just like I said, just sometimes the things that are most difficult for you are also the most rewarding. But I tell you what, this is a strange. I would like to get back the last 10 years that we've had in the stock market and started 10 years ago instead of starting 5 years ago. Because what we have now is nothing like what we've had in the last 10 years. But it's doing pretty good right now. I'm happy to see that it's going back up, and it's starting to calm my nerves a little bit. So I hope other people are getting calmed as well, so I stop getting so many phone calls at the end of the day.
Jeff Kerr joining us. And Jeff, I would like to ask you about your battles on the field against opponents. But Marcus, when we have you and your teammates on, I like talking practice too, and because that's when you get better, right? Is going good on good, as Ruffin McNeil used to say, and ones on ones and things like that. So Jeff, what was it like battling a Steve Logan offense with Crandell and all those weapons outside? They were throwing a lot at you guys, right?
Yeah. So the good thing about practice is that I was always a student of the game, so I liked watching and trying to figure out everything that our offense was doing. But for me, our offense was always difficult because it came from so many different directions. Whether or not we were running at one point we're running an option, speed option. Next play we're throwing it 50 yards down the field, and next play we're running it up the middle, and you just never knew where it was coming from. It was always a challenge, but at the same time, we had some great players over the years. It's like Rod Coleman getting in here just today was announced. But talk about just an amazing player there, an amazing athlete, and some of the things that he could do. And then also you're talking about Norris McCleary. When I got to play behind guys like that, they made my job easy. And you take for granted knowing that those guys are so good that they made you look really good as well. So for me, I could be blessed to be able to play behind those guys, but then still be able to sit on the sidelines and watch Mark C. throw a pass 45, 55 yards down the field and complete it, and then the whole stadium goes crazy. That's what the days that you live for there when you're on the defense.
Man, I can definitely attest to your ability to study and all that, Jeff. I think one of the things that I noticed, because I was pretty observant myself, and one thing I noticed about you is that we always talk about taking people under the wings as far as the older guys, and it seemed like you stood under the greats of your position. Mark Libbiano, Morris Foreman, and you mentioned Rod Coleman as well, but you stayed under those guys and asked questions. You were very inquisitive I'm assuming about the defense. I wasn't hearing the conversations, but I can imagine what was being asked and talked about in regards to being a student of the game. What was it like on the practice field and even in games? Having those guys to kind of rely on and gain knowledge about what they do at your position. What was it like for you?
That's exactly right, Mark. For me, that was the only way you could get better, was to try to go to find the people that were the best. And Mark Libbiano was the one that really took me under his wing and helped me study the things that I needed to know. And when you can do things like that, then it completes a lot of different trial and errors that you have to go through for your career and your specialty. So I still do that to this day in this job. I try to find the people that are the best in this industry, and I seek them out, and then I'll talk with them as much as possible, because they've gone through these many different kinds of ups and downs in the markets. And it's the same thing on the football field. When we had so many different plays and pass plays that we were seeing, and you had to know the run plays, you had to know the pass plays, you had to know where everybody was on the defense as a middle linebacker. So knowing all of that, it made my job more difficult to see as a young person, because you had so many different things coming at you at one time. Well, when you got a Mark or Libbiano there that can tell you, like, look, don't worry about that. That's going to be fine. You can always focus on this, this, and this, and then you're going to be able to handle this much faster and be able to process it much faster. So they were absolutely great, along with who else was it? I mean, we had so many good linebackers that were there, and And I don't know, I can remember another thing that really stood out to me for whatever reason, but everybody that played middle linebacker had messed up thumbs. And I can remember seeing them. They had every one of their ligaments torn in their thumbs, and I can remember seeing them from day one when I walked in there, and like, you got to get your thumbs taped up. Tape your thumbs up. I'm like, I can't catch a football. They're like, you ain't supposed to catch a football.
Knock it down.
Knock it down, man. Get up there and knock it out of the way, and you'll be all right. I'm like, all right, I can deal with that. So, but those were some of the things that I can remember back in my day. But man, we had some great players and just some really good people that came through East Carolina that you wouldn't expect that would have came through there. That you really went on for great careers in the sport.
Jeff Carr joining us. Jeff, we got John tuned in, and he said, Marcus, tell us some stories about Coach Logan. Well, Marcus has told a couple already. Let's see if Jeff's got one or two. Now, Marcus, you spent more time with Coach Logan maybe just because he's an offensive guy, but what were your interactions like over the years with Coach Logan, Jeff, and do you have a good story or two that comes to mind when you think about your old coach?
One of the stories that I kind of laugh at the most. We were out in practice one day, and I can't remember. We were prepping for a game that was against somebody, and we were it was a hurricane coming in, and I remember the quarterback at the time. I can't remember who exactly it was in practice, but he threw a football, and it went probably 30 yards in the air and turned around and came right back to him.
Oh man!
And we all saw that, and we were just dumbfounded. And Coach Logan looked up. He's like, all right, guys, it's time to get in here. We got to get off the field. This is a bad situation now. But I tell you what, it wasn't bad earlier. We're going to be all right, guys. We're going to be all right.
That's good. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Those moments, man. He was the best. He was the best at, we always talk about Coach Logan as far as, man, he would be joking, but it was kind of hard to tell if he was joking or if he was serious. Yeah. And then, as we grew and got to know him, and I think we start to figure that out as far as, man, he means business right now. So let's get off that field right now.
Yeah. And that's the thing with him. I mean, he always took you and put you in the best position possible to succeed. And for me as a senior, he brought me in my senior year and told me, like, look, Jeff, you got to be a leader here. And it's one of those things, but when he takes you under his wing and he says, hey, you got to be a leader now, you got to rise to the expectations. And he did a great job of putting the expectations on the shoulders of people that he knew had to handle it and get the job done. And I appreciated that. And I look back on him. I've had a lot of conversations with him just about family and other things that I can look back on and say he really helped me on. And that's a position and a place where I can look back and say, when you're working with people that are in the coaching profession and they do a great job as not only being a coach, but also being a father figure and a mentor, those are truly the ones you really respect and appreciate in the long term.
Absolutely, man. And you talking about growing and all of that, Jeff. You had an opportunity, of course, like we said, to sit back and gain some knowledge from some great players. You came in as a freshman and talk to us about a little bit about, you were one of those guys that we talk about being undersized, right? As far as your weight and all of that, and talk to us about sitting out that year and having to gain some weight and who helped you out in that process.
Yeah, to talk about a great mentor, that was Coach Connors, and he and I got to spend a lot of time together my freshman year. And I came in and they took me over and said, "Man, you way too small to be playing linebacker here, my friend. So you got to go get over here in the cafeteria to start eating." So they took me in for a breakfast one day, and I think they put 25 plates on my little tray that I had to carry over, and told me I had to eat every single one of them before I left. And I still can't eat oatmeal to this day because of that tray that was set in front of me that day. I think that was the very last bite I took, and I threw it up all over whenever I left that particular cafeteria. But Coach Connors put me under his wing, and he took me and made me the athlete that I was made to be for that sport. So without him, I couldn't have done anything when it came to being successful at East Carolina. And I owe a tremendous amount of work ethic and just everything that I've done in that sport to Coach Connors, and I got to greatly say thank you for that. So he was the one that really took me and made me who I am.
Amen to that.
Jeff Kerr joining us, Pirate Radio Live Line. Marcus, we always like to kind of wrap it up asking about memories, right? So let's get some of Jeff Kerr's favorite moments on the football field, Jeff. When you talk about big games, big plays, big moments, what comes to mind for you from your playing days here at ECU?
Oh man, I tell you, beat Miami there after the hurricane came through in NC State Stadium. That was probably the biggest, and being able to beat NC State there my senior year there in '99 at Greenville, that was a huge one as well. Going to the Liberty Bowl, even though I didn't play in the Liberty Bowl there, that was big, and what Mark and those guys were able to accomplish out there against Stanford, and just some of these huge teams that we beat, looking back on, and you don't really appreciate it as much until you look back and say, you know what, we played against some of the best teams out there, and we beat some of the best teams, and you can never have that taken away from you whenever you get older. And I think that's the biggest part of my memories, were being able to accomplish those great feats of, hey, you beat a top 25, top 20, top 10, top 5 team that not many people have done. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Jeff, I'm a Washington fan. One of my favorite teams was 2005. Joe Gibbs had come back, and they had Santana Moss and Clinton Portis. And if I turn the channel in 2005, I see Reggie Wayne and Bubba Franks and pretty much everybody you faced in that Miami game. Like, did you know at the time you were facing basically an NFL team when you were on the field with them?
Only thing I could think of was I just got to get out of this hotel room with these guys that I'm in because they stink. And I can't stand being around people all this time. I was trying to get around my girlfriend who smelled a whole lot better than they did. And we want to get away from being together because it was just driving us all crazy because we didn't know what was going on at home. And I think that was a big part of us beating that Miami team, because we were told how good they were all week long, but we really didn't care because we were just so kind of pent up energy, pent up mad, upset, and the fact that you could focus through all of that stuff was a big part of what Coach Connors and Coach Logan instilled in us. And getting through some of that was probably some of the most difficult things that we've ever done. Yeah. But again, it's also the most fulfilling too when you're able to accomplish it.
Awesome stuff. Marcus, anything else for Jeff before we let him go?
And just as always, Jeff, I thank you for all the things you did for the city of Greenville, ECU University, East Carolina University. I enjoyed my time playing with you, man, and enjoyed watching you grow as a young athlete. And after my career was over as well, so I appreciate all of you done, man, and continues to do.
Well, Mark, see, brother, you were a class act and always from day one, and man, I can always remember you smiling no matter what the circumstances, and you always had a yellow shirt or a red shirt on there in practice, so we never got to hit you a whole lot. That was a good thing. Didn't need to hit you because you had all the makings to be the person you are today. So greatly appreciate all you've done and continue to carry on that flag as well. Also that Christian flag you carry, brother.
Amen.
Appreciate that.
Awesome stuff. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll maybe do it again down the road, but had a lot of fun with you today. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. Y'all have a good day.
All right, you too, Jeff.
Jeff Kerr, and man, he was a lot of fun to watch when I was coming up, Marcus, and awesome to hear. So he was a young buck when you were a Pirate, and then kind of really came into his own later in his career after you had already moved on, right? But in the late 90s with those great Pirate teams. So, and I like that. That's what makes good programs, right? Kind of passing the torch on. You talked about the awesome linebackers that came before him and taking him under his wing. He then became a leader, and you just kind of keep moving that forward.
You know, when you look at his story and go deep into it, it's I think he had a few injuries as well. Even before college, I think he had a few injuries and wasn't on a winning team in high school. And then I think towards his senior year, they started winning more games. And then to come into the program and see how we ran things and adapt to, you know, what we were doing, the culture. And so he did a very good job of that. taking all the information that was given to him by his mentors and the coaches and all of that, and that's what you get, man. You get the product of Jeff Kerr.
That was awesome. Great interview. Absolutely. And great to catch up with him. All right, let's get a break in. When we return, we're going to do an intern battle of Name That Sound. So Marcus and I will be kind of referees, and we'll watch the show. How about two current Pirates participating? ECU pitcher Danny Beal, ECU women's basketball player Micah Dennis will go head-to-head for the first time ever in Name That Sound. And Marcus, we'll see how they do.
We'll see.
They'll put the pressure on them. Bright lights. We'll see how they shine on those bright lights.
They're used to that part.
That is true. More to go. Pirate Radio Live. We got that and a giveaway. Back with you after this.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the Crying Baby for an extra 10% off.
Here at Brown & Wood with Jeff Stein. It's summertime, and Jeff, you guys have a new car wash.
We do. We put in a brand new car wash just for the customer. So when you come in, get your vehicle serviced, we wash, dry, vacuum your car for free. It's state-of-the-art, but free to the customer.
And this summer, you have an AC special.
It's summertime. Air conditioning units are breaking left and right. But guess what? At Brown & Wood, all summer, I have free diagnostics on all air conditioning issues. Only at Brown & Wood.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations available. Visit us at beautybarmedispa.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Go Pirates!
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
The only thing hot at Russell's in downtown Washington right now are the prices. Hi, it's Russell. Rhonda and I have been busy putting together a sweet summer sale to save you some money on your favorite men's and women's clothing. It's that time of year when we gear up for fall arrivals, so that means we've created some great deals for you. All the brands you've come to love in dress and casual are now reduced. So shop the summer sale at Russell's in downtown Washington, because as you know, it's all about you, our pirate friends and customers at Russell's in downtown Washington.
With US Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines. So you don't need that robot daughter you built to get a 4th line for family plan pricing.
Oh, Robe Elizabeth? She's not gonna like that.
The robots will prevail.
Oh boy.
Get the low rate of $19.99 per line. US Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
We value human connection with fewer distractions. US Cellular, built for us. Visit your US Cellular authorized agent, Atlantic Wireless, with locations in Snow Hill, Belhaven, and Greenville.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store, serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
And I can promise you, there will be no quarter, ever, from ECU football. Go Pirates.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back, and Brown & Wood is your home of the best selection of GMC, Cadillac, Buick, and Mazda in Eastern North Carolina since 1937. Shop their entire inventory online at brownandwoodauto.com or visit them on Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, Greenville's #1 dealership and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, Marcus Crandell joining us. How about yesterday, Marcus? I talked to former ECU wide receiver Tyler Sneed. Coming off a 3-touchdown performance for the Alouettes. Three catches. Well, you remember Chris Carter? He said all he does is catch touchdowns.
All he does is catch touchdowns.
That's what Tyler Sneed did. Talked to him yesterday. We'll air that interview on our show coming up tomorrow. But he had a bye week, so he had a chance to catch up with him. And looks like he's doing pretty good there in Canada.
It does. I think he would take those 3 touchdowns back. I think he mentioned this in regards to getting a win.
Right, yeah.
Game instead
he
of
did mention that.
Touchdowns. But hey, good for him. He's with a great organization, great coaches there. I think he'll do very well.
Awesome stuff. All right, we got so Marcus Crandell, ECU Hall of Famer, Tyler Sneed, former Pirate. We got some current Pirates interning with us here this summer at Pirate Radio. We've already gotten to know Micah Dennis and Danny Beal a little bit, but lady, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Danny putting in the work, got here about 2 minutes ago. So.
Yeah, committed to the grind. That's all it is.
You had some baseball stuff to do. I think Cliff would get mad if we.
I'm not trying to mess up the relationship.
And by the way, if you have anything to do for Coach McNeil, please do it. We don't want her mad at us either. So
as we say, first things first.
There you go. You got your priorities. Absolutely. All right. So, but we're gonna play Name That Sound. It's very simple. Shirley will explain the rules, and I guess let's go ahead and hit the intro, Shirley Rhodes. We got to get this thing going.
Come on in, sit right down, take a guess, and name that sound. Turn that frown upside down, because it's time for Name That Sound. Now, here's the host of Name That Sound, Miss Shirley Rhodes.
Thank you. I was waiting for a high five. That was terrible. Welcome into Name That Sound.
Mike, I like that.
That was catchy.
Yeah, right.
The animations behind the glass. That was impressive.
Yeah, that was the worst high five I've ever received in my life. But welcome into Name That Sound. I am your host, Shirley Rhodes. Game is simple. I'm going to play a sound. It can be anything. It could be TV, movie, commercial, song, a random sound, and you have to figure it out. And lady and gentlemen, are you ready to play?
Yes. Terrified, but ready to go.
Can I give a little tip?
Sure.
Get your shots off. Like, if you may not know it, but say something.
Okay.
You can't get it right if you don't guess. So just get whatever's in the brain, spit it out, and give it a shot.
So, Shirley, is this kind of like a buzzer thing where we say a word to get our answers? Or
No,
just rattle off answers?
it's whoever says the correct answer first.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm ready.
All right, ready?
And that's on you. Whoever you hear say it first.
It's whoever I hear say it first.
Okay.
All right, here we go. You ready for the first one?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Why am I different? Who was my father?
Game of Thrones, Twilight, I don't know.
I don't even know.
Play it. Can we get
I'll play it one more time.
Why am I different? Who was my father?
Not a clue.
Here's a hint.
I know it.
Micah, you've seen this recently.
Blackening?
Incorrect.
Great guess.
Recently.
5.
I'm trying to think of yesterday what you said.
3.
What did I say yesterday?
2.
Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings.
1.
Mission Impossible.
Avatar.
The new Avatar.
Yeah, I haven't
That's
seen
terrible.
That's another thing. You have to be careful what you say because sometimes if you mention something, it winds up in Name That Sound. All right, here we go. No score as of yet. Here we go. Next sound.
Some said I'd never be a superstar.
Again, I'm lost. I have no idea. This is a really bad start.
Some said I'd never be a superstar.
Can you give a hint?
Yes, one of the artists featured in this song is from North Carolina.
I don't know anything about it.
That didn't help you much.
Maybe.
I don't.
Maybe.
I have no
5, 4,
Oh,
3,
Cole. What's his
2.
name?
J. Cole.
J. Cole?
What?
No, that's not J. Cole.
It is J. Cole and Lil Durk.
Oh,
all
that's
my
Lil
life.
Durk. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the Blake Shelton, the voice points.
Wait.
but-
I said it.
okay.
I don't think anybody gets
You
that
said
point.
Cole, and I was like, all right, wait, hold on.
They were dead in the water.
They were dead in the water, so I'm sorry.
Nobody gets that point.
And he also blurted out the answer, and he wasn't supposed to do that either. So.
I was just naming a guy from North Carolina, and I didn't even say his full name.
J. Cole's from North Carolina.
Fair and square, fair and square.
All right, here we go. Next sound.
I saw the cops with our logo on the car. Y'all better lace up.
Uh-oh. Joey knows it. No? All right.
Hold on one second, though, because my computer did exactly what I told it not to do, which is it did not play the entire sound.
Okay.
It cut it off.
I was about to say, that was
really quick.
Yeah.
It was really quick, and I don't know why it did that.
This is a great defensive battle we got going here. Danny's job is to keep the runs at a minimum. ECU women's basketball plants their flag on defense. So we got a good low-scoring game going on.
Okay, here we go. Let me play the full piece.
I saw the cops with our logo on the car. Y'all better lace up because we about to go crazy. if you ain't 4 shots in, don't come. Stay at the house. But Usher, I better see you, Usher. I'm not playing with you.
This is from a movie.
Chance.
No, it's not actually.
It's got to be an interview. It sounds like it.
Here's a hint. They won the WNBA championship last year.
Yep. No, this is a layup for you. I mean, what?
And I'm looking for the specific player.
Don't smoke the layup.
Wasn't it the Aces?
Oh.
They win?
Keep play it one more time.
Sure.
I saw the cops with our logo on the car. Y'all better lace up because we about to go crazy. If you ain't 4 shots in, don't come. Stay at the house. But Usher, I better see you, Usher. I'm not playing with you.
Oh my God, I know who this is.
My initial thought was
5,
Angel Reese from LSU, but that's not.
4,
No.
3.
Wait, she was from Mississippi
2,
State? Was she from Mississippi?
1.
All right, baseball one.
Asia Wilson.
Oh my God! I knew. Oh.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
All right, next sound.
Oh man.
I need the product this is selling.
Okay.
Doctor, Wayne, nothing come in between. Doctor,
Young Gravy.
Wayne, combo of my dream.
Joey's going crazy in there.
Joey's going. He's losing it. We have no score, by the way.
It's. I know who's singing it, but that's.
What did you call him?
Young Gravy. That's his name.
Young Gravy?
I swear that's his name.
Marcus, you know Young Gravy?
No.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
He's not saying much these days.
Young Gravy is the correct artist, but I am looking for the specific.
Dr. Pepper.
You are correct.
Oh yeah!
That one stings. That one
The
stings.
strawberries and cream flavored Dr. Pepper.
Oh my God.
We got a bucket.
All right, we got a bucket in here. 1-0. Intern Micah.
Go. Or a soccer goal.
All right, here we go. Next one. Joey's losing it in the lobby.
How does he know?
What are y'all?
We must stink at this.
I'm like
this is,
really.
Y'all are locked in.
Can I play?
my room
All right, one more time. One more time.
Not
Would you like a hint?
Yes,
That'd
please.
be awesome.
The best-selling artist of all time.
Okay.
Name some names.
Michael Jackson. That's not Michael Jackson.
Female.
Oh. Female?
That's a female.
Marcus wants
I
to say
think-
something.
They had to alter.
Joey is losing it. He's so disgusted. He just left the lobby.
I mean,
That's a woman.
I was thinking the same
It
thing.
sounds like that.
It's intentionally done that because it would be too easy if I left it out.
So there's like some electronics
Yes,
going on
yes,
with the
yes.
voice.
The voice is doctored a little bit.
Oh, okay.
5,
Oh my goodness.
4, 3,
Kalani?
2,
Britney Spears.
1.
Ariana Grande?
Yo. Who was it?
Taylor Swift.
Oh my gosh. First of all, okay, to be fair, I don't really know Taylor Swift unless it's like her country music. I'm a big fan of her
Well,
country
that is fair. That is fair.
Danny's in
But-
shambles.
I was like, Danny, you should pick this out. You guys do the bus karaoke, and it's all Taylor Swift.
I'm so rattled right now.
All right, let's get a timeout.
Yes,
Let's get
yes,
a mound visit.
Oh my God.
We're not yanking you, but we're gonna visit you on the mound.
It's close.
And Micah, you need a little 20, maybe a 30-second timeout.
Ooh, yeah.
You do
You're
have
winning.
the lead.
You got the lead.
By one. By one.
The
It's
score
still
is
fair game.
1-0, Micah.
Yeah, might as well be 100 at this rate.
We will take a timeout, come back, and have more for you. Name that sound after this.
And then it was two seagulls.
We're here for the booty.
Party.
Pirate Water is here. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find pirate water in a location near you.
We're going plankton.
Pirate Water is here. 21 and older, please drink responsibly.
Wally's 2 Kettle Corn in Winterville is where you can find the tastiest popcorn around. Make it a movie night at home with Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. They have over 50 flavors to choose from, including classics like cheddar, caramel, and my favorite, better butter. Or try their specialty flavors such as Chicago Style, Wintergreen Mix, and MJ's Cheesecake. Wally's 2 also caters, so if you're hosting a party or event, satisfy your company with delicious popcorn. Check them out on Facebook or stop by and see Wally today on Fire Tower Road across from Sam Jones Barbecue. Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. Make it a poppin' day.
The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla. It's the best idea ever.
Whoa. The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla, that was my idea. My idea. Doritos and pizza. I did that. Another one.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
Ahoy, mateys, it's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express. We're here to serve our pirate community by offering easy payments for easy ownership. For you landlubbers, R&R will install a new set of tires for just $20. $50 installs new custom wheels and tires. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
Keep cool this July at your CBD store with 20% off any purchase over $100. Just mention the promo code COOL20. They have award-winning, third-party tested, natural products for sleep, relaxation, pain, and even pets. Stop by today to check out new Delta and THCA products that are in stock, including gummies, seltzers, pre-rolls, and vapes, plus unique gifts and accessories. Their gummies are #1 in the world. Your CBD store, 420 East Arlington Boulevard, between Duck Donuts and Jet's Pizza. Go Pirates!
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. University Sportswear is your one-stop shop to help promote your business and always provide superior customer service. No matter what apparel you need for your team or customers, University Sportswear can make it happen. Visit universitysportswearenc.com for contact information. University Sportswear, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. Go Pirates! Hey Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all things automotive. Greenville Auto World is now under new ownership by the Cook Management Group. but still believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Tommy Cook and his team now have 5 dealerships in eastern North Carolina with a fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 or greenvilleautoworld.net. Pirates supporting pirates.
Pirate Radio.
It's great to be on. This is an honor. You know, Pirate Radio is kind of a cult following around North Carolina, so I'm excited.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. And at the Appliances Superstore, they make buying appliances easy. Just that simple. The Appliances Superstore has the largest selection of in-stock appliances in eastern North Carolina, which helps our customers save money every day. They offer a 12-month warranty on every appliance, plus will deliver and set up your new appliances and remove your old ones. The Appliances Superstore off of Highway 264 behind the new DMV, or you can shop online at appliancessuperstore.com. Remember, we make buying appliances easy at the Appliances Superstore. Welcome back to Pirate Radio Live. We are in the middle of Name That Sound, and it has been a rough start for our interns. Intern Micah has 1 point. Intern Dan only has 0.
Not great.
All right.
Good ERA, bad score in this game.
It's
0.
Coach Knight came out, told me what I needed to hear, and we got a fresh start coming up. So.
All right.
He's not throwing chairs or anything, is he?
Not yet.
All right, here we go.
Wrong Coach Knight. Oh, that's Bobby, not Austin.
I was thinking Bobby Knight. Sorry. All right, here we go. Let's move on to the next one. Can you name this song?
Why is everybody on the internet so mean?
Why is everybody on the internet so mean?
Is this like a new song that just came out or something?
This is, here's a hint, it is a viral TikTok song.
Why is everybody on the internet so mean?
Is it like a famous artist?
No, it's
sounded like
not.
a child singing this.
But this person has made recently appearances on the Today Show and several other national television shows because this particular song went viral.
Shirley, you're kicking my butt right now. I mean, oh my
Well,
goodness.
I figured you guys would be on the TikTok.
One would think,
But-
right? Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, 5,
Yeah, no.
4,
I can't even give a
3,
guess.
2,
Marcus?
1.
What you got, Marcus?
No guess. The name of the song is "If I Were a Fish," and it's by an artist by the name of Olivia Barton.
No chance.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
All right.
All right, let's.
On to the next one.
All right, on to the next one. Here's the next one.
Keyboard.
Typing.
Keyboard typing. Yeah, keyboard.
All right.
Intern Dan is on the board.
That was so
And you got it too. We just a little too.
Now we go.
Now we have a ball game.
I just
Pick
need
up
to
my
see.
words
Just
a
need to
little
see.
bit.
the
Got a
ball-
tie.
Just need to see the
Got a
ball go in.
tie.
Tie.
Now I'm getting a little hot. Now it's competitive. Okay, here we go.
All right, here we go. Next
Watch
one.
out.
Next one.
Paper, moving paper, cutting paper, ripping paper, moving.
What did you say, Dan?
I
Rip
said
it.
printer.
She's
paper ripping.
She's the closest.
Ripping paper.
No, she said turning paper,
Oh, okay.
turning pages.
Yes.
They're turning fast.
That's good.
All right, there you go. There you go. Now
guess
you're
that works.
getting the hang of the game.
Can we switch seats? Because Micah is competitive and it's getting a little like fourth quarter over here, and I'm getting a little nervous to be beside her.
All right, here we go. Next sound.
Gotta watch the
You
fist.
play ball
Like a girl. Say what?
girl.
Bang.
sir.
Yeah, that,
Okay.
that was my layup.
That was your
And I
layup.
hit it.
Okay.
He said like a girl.
You play ball like a girl. That's right.
You throw a ball like a girl.
Didn't want to miss it.
Here we go. Next one.
I want to thank me for having
Snoop
no
Dogg.
days off.
Now we got a game. Now we got a game.
Okay. All right.
Now we're cooking.
Didn't even have a chance. You didn't even
His
hear
voice
it. And
is
she
just so
said Snoop Dogg.
Did you say Snoop Dogg? Is that
Snoop
what it was?
Dogg,
Okay.
Look at me, look at me.
You looking?
You looking?
Okay, I don't know.
She finished the lyric, and I'm like, okay. Like,
It's a TikTok song. But is it by Doja Cat?
You are correct.
Oh my gosh.
This might be
It's
getting
not
out of
even
hand.
anymore.
Is it
She's on fire.
So
That was a fadeaway jumper right there.
4-2 for a score check.
4-2
4-2,
is your
okay.
score.
How many we got left?
We have 2 more sounds. Oh, no, excuse me. 1, 2, yeah. 3 more sounds. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
All right. Well,
Here we go.
do or
Here we
die
go.
now.
Here we go.
You want to kill him? I want to kill him. What about you?
I'm going to kill you.
Is this?
I wanted to say Peaky Blinders at first. I don't think it's Peaky Blinders.
Wait. What's that movie? It's an old movie.
You want to kill him? I want to kill
Dark
him.
Knight.
Here's a hint. It is not an old movie. It is a recent movie.
No, man.
How recent are we talking?
I had no
Like
idea.
post
This year.
2010? Oh, this year.
This year.
This year.
Wow.
You
Okay.
want to kill him?
Oppenheimer.
I want to kill him.
This year.
I'm going to kill you.
I'm gonna kill you.
I feel like I know who's saying I'm going to kill you. I know who that person is.
You wanna
5,
And-
share?
4, 3.
Let Marcus
2,
say it
I don't
when the
remember
time
his
runs
name
out.
now.
1.
It's slipping my
Marcus?
Tom Cruise?
Incorrect.
Mission?
No, it was
No?
It was Keanu Reeves and John Wick, Chapter
Wick.
4.
John Wick. I knew it was
You were
John
going
Wick.
to Mission Impossible.
Oh my
just
god.
talked about that yesterday.
Yes, that's what I was thinking about.
What is it? MI7 I went?
Yeah, but wrong movie. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
John.
Let's fire through these last ones
I like
because
that
we
one
got to get another break in here.
Yeah.
So
Stop giving him credit. You know he ain't stealing. He made a liar out of me. Yeah, boy, you better stop before you end up on the IL stealing them bags like that, boy. Hey, he must be off tomorrow.
It's mic'd up.
Is it a new? Wait, is it a movie?
No, that's
no.
sounds like it's mic'd up.
It's a mic'd up, but
What
I'm
sport?
looking. This is baseball. I'm looking for the particular player.
Stop giving him credit. You know he ain't stealing.
I
He
don't
made a
even
liar
know.
out of me. Yeah, boy, you better stop before you end up on the IL stealing them bags like that, boy. Hey, he must be off tomorrow.
It's not Mookie. That doesn't sound like Mookie. All right.
5, 4, 3,
That one's not fair.
2, 1.
I'm just
That would be 1 Andrew McCutcheon.
Oh, man.
no,
I don't know if I've heard him talk that
I
much.
didn't think. Yeah, I was about to say. I didn't.
And he's
Well,
been in the league 30 years.
Literally.
All right, and here's your last sound.
Good for him.
It looks like Micah's going to win this one since this is the last sound.
Good man.
You always just look so happy. I said, that's the Botox.
Mark,
No, I know who that is.
My,
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
She got it.
That's what I meant.
You said Dolly Pocket.
Dolly Parkin.
That's what I meant, though. I meant that. Dolly.
Now, hey, is it Dolly Parkin a vehicle maybe?
To be fair, I did say the name correctly.
Okay,
You
first
did.
of all,
Yeah,
I would say
I'll
it's a
give it to
50.
you.
I'll give you 50.
No, I'll give it
Half.
to you.
It don't matter because the game's over and you won.
4-3 looks a
I
lot
could
better
have
than
given
5-2.
him a point and Micah a point.
Dolly Parkin.
Micah still won.
That's right.
Gotta make it look good.
Yeah, I just said.
Great job, y'all.
win.
Great job.
I just said Marcus.
Hey, way to bounce back.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Danny.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Good battle.
4-3 looks a lot better than 5-2. So
Good battle. All right. We will take our final break. We got to give something away. What caller are we looking for, Shirley?
Let's do.
And what are
let's
we
make
giving
it
away?
quick. Let's do caller 3.
Caller 3.
And $10 to AJ McMurphy.
AJ McMurphy's on the line to caller 3. We're back to wrap it up after this.
When you're not the one for me.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Don Edwards from UBE. This year we lost a legend. Jeff Charles was the voice of the Pirates and an ambassador for East Carolina University for 35 years. To honor Jeff's legacy, we are raising money to endow a scholarship in his name by holding a 50-50 raffle on Tuesday, August 15th. Show your support for the voice by purchasing your purple and gold raffle tickets and you could win $10,000. You do not have to be present to win, so get your tickets today at UBE and let's paint this raffle purple for the voice.
What's up, Pirate Nation? Kyle Gaines here at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram here in Washington, North Carolina. Let me tell you what's going on this summer. We have 10% off MSRP on all Ram trim levels. That's right, 10% off MSRP on all trim levels, including on our Tradesman, Bighorn, Limited, and Laramie trucks. That's going to be 10% off MSRP on all trims. Also, we have our Washington off-road packages that we're adding on every make model here at our service department. So come check us out at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com.
Serving those who serve is a lifelong mission, one that Budweiser supports with Folds of Honor. Together, they've been helping military families for over 13 years by funding life-changing scholarships. So join me in raising a Budweiser to raise funds for families for American heroes. Grab a case of Budweiser today at your favorite local retailer. Proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing, supporting our military veterans and the Pirate Nation since 1989. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch, Budweiser, Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov. Greetings, friends of Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and a multitude of advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,500 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. We are currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. If you want to be part of a thriving school system that focuses on educating students, growing our employees, and promoting positive mental and physical health initiatives, we encourage you to become a part of our Pitt County Schools family to help ensure success for the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead.
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
This is Jacob Jenkins Cowart, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Let's look at your stock market. The Dow was up 163 points at 35,225. The NASDAQ was down 294 points at 14,063. The S&P was down 30 at 4,534. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors Stock Market Report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back into the show. Here's Cliff.
All right, Marcus, I'm going to tell you like this. There's no football on tonight, and there's no football on next Thursday night. But the Thursday after that, there will be football on TV. We're almost there.
Well, in the U.S. anyway, I guess.
That's right. There is Canadian Football League going on. So you get your football fix if you like that.
Yes.
Congratulations, Micah Dennis, on her Name That Sound victory. Danny Beal swears revenge.
Coming for blood next round.
Thank you all for being here. That was a lot of fun. And thanks to Dekota Marshall, Phil Steele, the Pitt County Girls Softball 12 and Under All-Stars dropped by. Good luck to them. Jeff Nadeau. And we also had an awesome interview with Jeff Kerr and Marcus, maybe cooking up another great interview for us next week.
Looking forward to it, man.
We'll see you then. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Shirley, Chandler, Joey, good to see you again, buddy. We'll see y'all coming up 3 o'clock on a Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. For the crew here, I'm Clip Brock. Jeff Charles, the Hall of Famer. Take us home.
Have a great night, Eastern Carolina.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville.